That song just ends abruptly. Someone already sent in like a donation alert thing about the Soy Jack Party thing, which is like an image board dedicated to Soy Jack posting. I've looked at it. It is the most incomprehensible thing I've ever seen. I really feel like it's like a front. It feels like there's a secret board where people actually like post and talk to each other, but the rest of the site is just fucking nonsense. However, they post these extremely elaborate videos that they call gems that are like, I played one at the end of my, actually no, I did not play one at the end of my last stream. There's no evidence that this occurred. But they're like Soy Jack pictures edited and tweened and set to usually like weird like Nazi music or something. However, this one that I saw that was brand new had a song by a German band. I think it's a German band called, let me get this right, Anthrazit. Anthrazit. I don't know what the fuck that means. I think it's the name of a rock or something. And apparently they're like crypto fashy because all the it's like a small band. Their label doesn't exist anymore. They just sell merchandise now. They have no band website. Their band website is just like a machine generated like article site. And it was almost impossible to find a high quality copy of their songs, and one was used at the end, which I'll talk about when I get there. But this was also this is just called track 7 of their album Neue Ordnung unseres Denkens, which means the thinking of our new order. And apparently that's also the name of like a Nazi Germany publication, which is why if you try to buy this album online, you'll find that a lot of places like Discogs just don't allow it to be sold in their marketplace because it's like hate music or whatever the fuck. Very interesting. It drove me crazy trying to find copies of this. I eventually found a old like a music review blog that's in German, and I managed to find one of their albums, but it was the wrong one. And then I just guessed the file name of this album that I knew about, and it worked. And now I have the MP3s. So this sent me off on a wild tangent trying to figure out this song, which I will, of course, save for the end. And I'll do a little tidbit about because I looked up the lyrics and stuff. Anyways. Wow, I have a little bit of a variety and a few news articles this time. Just some stuff that I've noticed. I've been trying to prepare the site for next week. Because next Friday is February 3rd, which means next Friday will be 10 years, 1/3 of my entire life dedicated to, well, not dedicated the entire time, but as admin of the Kiwi Farms. And I have something that I'm working on. I don't know if it'll be done in time. I might decide against it and just scrap the entire idea. However, I am certain that there will be some DDoS attacks to try and bring on the site. So I'm working on a little bit of a striped stock project to keep the site up. And I've been working on fixing the site the entire time before the stream went live. So I'm actually checking something real quick. Oh, it's not. So the site's been having downtime this week, just incredibly briefly. We have 3 servers. I have a 4th one for the chat. And I use Galera cluster for replication, which means that I can have multiple servers and multiple databases. The issue is that when one goes down, when you restart it, it takes forever to resync, and it brings down another database. So if you have 3 databases that run 3 servers, and you expect 3 servers to be working, and one goes down and you restart it, another one goes down until they're resynced. And it's like a never-ending fucking game of one going down and then 2 going down to bring up the other one, and then the other one goes down because it's just a fucking nightmare. I really hate it. I would never use it if I didn't have to federate the system. Enough of that. I have some content, some quality content to get into. This one's I actually noticed this by myself. I've been playing Hearts of Iron 4, because of course I have, and because I've been testing out the new Italy. I'm not a big fan of the changes to Italy, but while I was reading the Reddit, I found this post from 14 days ago. There's a streamer named Grisha, who is apparently a Russian streamer of Hearts of Iron 4. He's 16 years old, I want to say. And of course, if you don't know, there's a war between Russia and Ukraine. So there's also modders who decided to try and recreate the invasion of Ukraine through Hearts of Iron 4. And Grisha, who is nationalistic, has played the game. And then there's this clip. This clip is apparently extremely offensive to the Hearts of Iron 4 community. This has almost 1.6 thousand upvotes, more than that. And it's characterized as a gamer moment. So let's see this gamer moment going on.
Yes! Ура!
He's very happy.
Зи, это Z, это победа, это Ви! Своих, блядь, не бросаем! Nazi pigs don't deserve to be remembered!
So that's basically it. I'll replay it, go step by step. I'll crank down the volume a little bit.
Yes!
Diplomatic alert, and I think that says that the Russian Federation has defeated Ukraine in an ongoing conflict. To the victor goes the spoils, which is the typical defeat thing. There is, I think, it looks like he's at war with Poland now, and it looks like Belarus has been annexed. This mod is still in development, I've been told. And this page that goes up says, just for clarity, because I will be reading the comments in reply to this, and I find this interesting. The little pamphlet says, destruction of Stepan Bandera's monument. While the Ukrainians defended the city of Lviv with tooth and nail, they were unable to stop our advance as our forces continued to march into the city. We were able to find Stepan Bandera's monument. I actually did not know that Lviv had a monument to Stepan Bandera. If you don't know who Stepan Bandera is, in World War II, Germany held, I think, all of Ukraine at the height of the war. Stepan Bandera was a Ukrainian nationalist and anti-communist who basically what he did is he went up to the Gestapo and he said, hello, I want to install a fascist government for Ukraine and I want to help you guys. So the Gestapo said, we're going to throw you in jail now, because he led like a militia. And they're like, why does this Ukrainian militia guy just think he can come up to us and say he wants to collaborate? So they threw him in jail. Then afterwards, a couple years later, the Gestapo was like, wait a second, we probably could really use a collaboration government in the Ukraine. So let's bring the Stepan Bandera guy out and install him as a collaborationist in Ukraine. And that's what they did. The government didn't last very long. It wasn't ever recognized by anybody. But he was briefly an anti-communist ruler of Ukraine installed by the Gestapo. There are monuments to him because, of course, Ukraine does not look very fondly on the days of the Soviet Union. If you don't know, Stalin had an approach. Most people have heard of the Holodomor, but most people don't know that the reason why the Holodomor happened is that Stalin wanted to make the Ukrainians want communism. So they did that by simply forcing people onto farms and then restricting their ability to buy food. So if they didn't adopt agrarianism and grow their own food, they would just die. And a lot of people died. So that's why people kind of revere Bandera. However, his history is complicated right now because, of course, he was a literal Nazi collaborationist that went up to the Gestapo and was like, "Kop, kop, Manfia, I would like to work with you." And that's a bit of a faux pas in retrospect, at least to the liberal West. So that's the gist of this clip. I've gone on into a huge fucking tangent about this. However, I have shown you this not because I want to rag on Grisha or because I want to talk to you about Ukrainian history, because I know nobody gives a fuck. I want to read the comments. This is why I brought this up, because I found the comments very funny. If you don't know, Hearts of Iron 4 is a World War II simulation game. It's very loosely a strategy game. Hearts of Iron 4 is not very realistic, and there's lots and lots of really stupid, dumb shit that you can do, and the AI is so broken that you can basically always win if you want to use cheese strategies. Basically, the AI will, for an example of how Hearts of Iron 4 is a really shit game that is basically just like a wish fulfillment simulator, the AI will never use paratroopers because the AI is dumb and badly programmed by Swedes. However, they have no idea how to deal with paratroopers either. So all you have to do if you want to kill any country is make paratroopers that just have 1,000 men each and use them to capture every victory point in the enemy country. And if you do that, you will always capitulate that country, and the AI will not do anything to stop you from doing that. So the game is broken. So what happens is you get a lot of people playing Hearts Iron 4 who are like, oh my god, what if Hitler was like ousted and it was like socialist, and then the Germans and the Soviet Union teamed up against the imperialists in France and the United Kingdom in America, and it also made them communists? Or what if the small localized anarchist movement in the Spanish Civil War took over the whole world and seized the means of productions and got rid of state tyranny? And that's like everybody who plays this fucking game, which is why the modders for it are like the most insane trannies on the face of the planet. That is literally all they do, and because they can just cheese shred everything, it's like, okay, the anarchist paratrooper division captures Paris before Germany does, and now they have an unstoppable army. Like that's the game. It's a good way to sink a couple hours trying to figure out, what if Italy actually beat back Romania? This is what I do. What if Italy beat back Romania and then installed Stepan Bandera as like an Italian fascist collaboration government? And then when Stalin tried to seize Bessarabia from puppet Romania, Italy declared war and brought the full force of the fascist empire on Stalin and freed the Ukrainians from Stalin. That's me when I play. It's the same. It's also gay. It's not less gay when I do it. It's just that's what I do instead. Anyways, so here is John Bat. He says he is streaming from the headquarters of the Wagner Group. That is a joke. They don't really actually seem to understand that that's a joke. I will excuse this one. 34 stability and 7% war support. At least the mod is somewhat accurate. That appears to be the negative modifiers that the modders have given it, because I guess the war isn't popular even in Russia, or maybe he's done things in the game to drop his war support. So he's like, so the government's really unstable and no war support. Nobody in Russia supports this. Dab on Putin. And then Big Brony Boy says, not with that war support, unfortunately. It seems the Russian population is willing to get fucked in the ass so long as they can be big, strong Russia, as opposed to the West, which is willing to get literally fucked in the ass and raped and murdered in the name of not being racist. I'm new to Holy Forest, so I don't know the community. Who is he and why does everyone hate him? Used to be a decent guy, and he's a scum. He unironically supports the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, this guy's slightly too patriotic. I think he's too nationalistic, really too much. I think the video explains why no one likes him. What's really funny about the comments is that you're playing a game literally about fascism. The World War II is a very complicated. I think it was mostly a monetary thing. It was like the UK wanted to cut Germany down to size and stop it from ever challenging it ever. And Hitler wanted to break away from the global monetary system that was in place. That's why I think the war was the war. But post hoc, we've said that it's a fight against fascism. So we have a war that is historically classified as a fight against fascism. And these people are stunned in disbelief that there are people who are nationalistic. Like they don't even know. It doesn't even they can't even fathom that this thing in their game that they play all fucking day is real. Like there are people who are patriotic and nationalistic in the world, and it really fucks with them. I don't understand that. You can't even, like, when you play games like Europa Universalis and Hearts of Iron 4, you really can't even avoid learning history. You're just forced to learn it because that's like, it defines the rules of the game, and yet these people are shocked. And then this is a great thread. Matching Chart says, when will he be mobilized, or is he the son of the privileged? This guy immediately clarifies that he desperately wants to enlist, but he's only 16, so he has to wait at least over a year before he can enlist. But this guy's first thought is, I want him to die. I want him to be blown up. Yeah, that guy is super entrenched. There was one more. It was like, I think there's another one that's more violent. It's like, I want him to be like crying in the trenches. They're all like, I hope he dies. I hope he gets drafted. That's just a joke about the VDV. Very funny. Talking about the VDV again, because apparently he's in the paratroopers uniform. And if you don't know, the VDV is the paratrooper divisions, and Putin heard from Hearts of Iron 4 that if you just send paratroopers to capture all the victory points, it'll capitulate the country instantly. However, he didn't realize that doesn't work in real life, so he just sent all the paratroopers to die horrifically in airstrips. And that was considered by many to be a blunder at the start of the war. Mod is Hearts of Cope, very popular in Russia these days. What a shame he took the road he did. He was a good video game maker. Never trust a teenager who always screams Russia and unironically hangs both Russian imperial flag and Soviet flag in his room. I wanna can't find the comment where they're like, oh, I hope waiting for this motherfucker to get drafted. They want him to die. Oh, and they're calling him Nazi. Yes, indeed, Grisha. Nazi pigs don't deserve to. They're so stuck up their own ass. I did a video way back when the war first started on my take, and my take is complicated because sorry, that's my keys. My take is complicated because I understand Russia's desire not to be completely rolled up in a carpet by the West. And I understand Ukraine's desire to be independent from Russia and not wanting to be Russia's bitch like Belarus's. Sorry to any Belarusians out there, but you know it's true. So I'm the only person in the entire world who has managed to find a fence-sitting position on the war, because I know people in both countries, and it does not make me happy. So, in case anyone's wondering, Jewish shill. That's right, boy. I always simp for Israel. Okay, so this post in response to Bardfin says it's targeted harassment at a minimum, a violation of the rules on personal identity at best, and terroristic violence. Remove items referring to people there in action as. Okay, let me retake this because this is a fucking obnoxious post. Bardfin posts in a thread on Reddit called an R mod help. So top down, R mod help. Post by Goddess of Night Moths asking Reddit rules on Kiwi farms. Bardfin replies saying it is targeted harassment at minimum, a violation of the rules on personally identifiable information, and terroristic violence. Remove items referring people there and action them as targeted harassment, even if it's just, quote, go look at blah blah's thread on Kiwi Farms. The owner/operator is an ideologically motivated violent extremist, all caps. So I'm an IMVE, in other words, or racially or ethnically motivated violently extremist. The users are, as well, counter and prevent the use of the site to harm others. I reply saying, what a humiliating post to make. I feel bad for you. Can you identify what makes me a violent extremist? You can only see this here because if you try to open this, you will not find it. It has been deleted. I don't know who by, but it just is. So we can look at the replies to this. Goddess of Night Moths. So these are two women talking to each other. And she says, great, thank you. The main mods aren't active, so I wasn't sure what to do since it seemed to be allowed previously before I was mod. People asked for clarification about this, and there is none given. In fact, one is removed by I guess that's like a joke. That's my reply. I guess that gets removed by a moderator. And then all the other comments are also okay. So this person, Bardfin, is named Stephen Joel Atkins, also known as Penelope Verity Oaken. This is her. Oh wait, no. This is the real Bardfin. Bardfin is like a well-known power mod of the Kiwi Farms, thankfully, of Reddit. And I think they're active on like 100 different subs. I want to say this is one of those power mods that is like 100, over 60 subreddits as of February 2021. So that's the situation going on there. I want you to. They actually stream apparently. They're the chief of the Against Hate subreddit. So if you want to know who runs Against Hate subreddits, it's this person. Just so you know. They have a kid and they transitioned after having a kid. I think after their divorce. And this is like a video that they did. So I want to play just a couple seconds of it so you can get a good vibe for it.
Okay, this is going to be a hard video to make because I feel betrayed
Wait,
by people.
I didn't listen to this. I wanted to cue this up so I could hear it too. Betrayed. Is this a British? Where is this? Wait, hold up. Let me see. I want to cop. I can't want to show any docs. I'll play the audio a bit, but it's like that sounds kind of British to me.
People who I've grown close to over the past year and a half, people who helped me find my identity, people who I thought were just
It says Texas,
and trying to
but
fight to make the world a kinder place. But after seeing what I've seen recently, I just can't do this anymore.
oh my god, no, I'm wrong. Wait. Oh no, they do have a biological kid. They also have a stepson apparently. Okay. Oh, and then they were arrested for domestic violence. That's right. So this person who was against hate subreddits is also beating around their stepson's mother, I guess. Aussie. It says Texas, so I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with this person. Australian is what chat is saying. Yeah, I thought that was worth pointing out. I find that funny. They oh, by the way, they said that we got hacked and are celebrating it. I don't think anything came of that because I shut it down as soon as I saw something was amiss, and I checked the logs, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't get any kind of information. So Wikipedia also proudly announces that we were hacked, but not the time that information actually leaked. I don't know. Okay, speaking of hacks, actually, the U.S. has been hacked. Specifically, a shitty contracting company that develops stuff for planes has been hacked, and the no-fly list has been leaked. However, from what I know, it's not leaked to the public yet, because the person who hacked it is this Swiss transsexual named Maya, who decided to hack into whatever the fuck this is. They get the no-fly list and then post their Pokemon toys, and then say that if you are a I believe it is in the public interest for this list to be made available to journalists and human rights organizations. If you are a researcher or other party with legitimate interest, please reach out to nofly@crimew.gay. So only verified CNN journalists will be allowed to have access to this list until it leaks, which of course it will. This is the person who has hacked the U.S. federal government's no-fly list. And it kind of reminds me of this meme. Oh yeah, they have the hunch. They have the eunuch hunch. Crazy. So this is the person who did it. And by the way, it reminds me of this meme. Where the Russians say, no, you can't just vaporize my entire armored division. We had such a manly recruitment ad. And then the Zoomer thought is saying, oh my god, integrated fire support, go off Queens, cause J-Dams are such a Gemini thing. And it's like that, except it's America who's getting hacked by the fucking trannies from Switzerland. Because I mean, I can't imagine like this is Destiny literally uses this meme unironically to talk about how, for whatever reason, like the bread tubers are like crazy to me, because you have someone who should be like against the military industrial complex, and then when it comes time to like murder Russian people, people like Destiny and on the bread tube side are just like completely more than happy to celebrate the deaths of like by the military industrial complex, as long as like the people doing the killing are like troons, you know what I mean? They're pro global homo. I guess that's the best way to sum it up. But yeah, just wanted to bring that out there. This the U.S., I'm sure that's all going to be Muhammad's. However, people are interested in if Nick Fuentes is on it. I don't think he is, though. Not anymore. This is also a small update about Miriam Yanov, who is Jessica Jonathan Yanov's mother. She is a first-generation Israeli immigrant. She's also fucking insane. She's like one of the most insane people ever. And her child is a pedophile, allegedly, but probably. They have been arrested twice in 1 week. Mischief, false alarm of fire, uttering threats to burn, destroy, or damage, and false alarm of fire. So they're in an apartment building and they keep setting off the fire alarms. So now they are being evicted from their home and not allowed within 200 feet of their apartment complex. So this is like a dozen charges between her and Jonathan Yanev. Which, to remind everybody, in case you're new, Jonathan Yanev is someone I did a stream about years ago. And Jonathan Yanev was friends with the co-founder of Twitter. Any feminist who made a blog talking about Jonathan Yanev would be banned. Jonathan Yanev was able to get feminist WordPress blogs shut down, was able to get lots of feminists banned off Twitter. And this was because he had sued 5 different waxers, private, like women who did bikini waxes in their homes, for not waxing his testicles in their homes. They said they weren't comfortable. So he sued them all, and he sued them all in the Human Rights Tribunal of the Canadian court system. And Jonathan Yanev was not only able to get my Twitter account banned, he was also able to get my YouTube account banned. Because when I was going to stream on him, I used a thumbnail with a picture of him as the thumbnail. And he was able to strike this stream an hour before it was meant to go live. So this person had immense power. They went by Trusted Nerd, and they held the reins of a lot of social media shit before the thing completely broke open and went out of control. So just to give you an idea of who it is, what kind of people are in social media, and I like to remind people about this every so often, because I'm sure there are many Jonathan Yanevs left in Google and in Twitter and in everywhere. But Jonathan lives within apparently she cannot go within 200 meters of the apartment complex, and his house is his apartment's also within 200 meters. So they're speculating if she won't be able to even legally visit her son because it's in that parameter. Just when I say she, I mean Miriam, the mother. Are you guys are you fucking retarded? She's not transgender. She's a Jewish woman from Israel. She's not trans. Man, the pronoun police shit really fucking bothers me. I don't care what pronouns you're going to use but when you all freak out and go, you're saying they instead of he. Yeah, because when I say Liz Fong Jones, it sounds weird to say Liz he. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive in your brain. It's fucking irritating. Ugh. Ah. I need water. I might get up to get water. I might abandon post to get water at some point, in case I go quiet. Why? Okay, speaking of greater than she, I have some Anisa Joma clips. If you don't know, Anisa is iDubbbz is better. This woman has gone through phases. She has borderline personality disorder. She is mentally ill. She's also Canadian. She has hired Greek people to send DMCA complaints. I've stopped receiving those. I guess she ran out of money to pay for those. I don't know how else to describe Anisa except busted. I see this woman, and I don't know if I've ever said this before, but when I do streams on people, I really try not to go for obvious, really low-hanging fruit. I try to avoid that. I try to be more clever about it, because I could just look at people and say, damn, she's fucking ugly. What an ugly bitch this is. And I would be right in doing so. And I think a lot of people would enjoy that. But, if you, she's obviously ugly. I don't feel the need to point that out. However, with Anisa, her ugliness is such a core part of her character. If you look back on how she started versus where she's at now, she has actively tried to make herself as unattractive as possible. And I don't know how else to describe Anisa except saying she looks like a woman who gets routinely beaten with a crowbar and is always in a various stages of healing from being beaten halfway to death with a blunt object. Busted. She looks straight up fucking busted. And people are saying F. And I think my stream is just fine, so I don't know why people are saying F. Oh yeah. I have in fact, oh no, now it's back. Calm down. Calm down. I'm allowed, Susan knows I'm allowed to say that this bitch is straight up fucking busted. That's the real takeaway here. However, also busted is iDubbbz. So I'll play this. Anisa says, "Dance, monkey, dance. I gave you the croom today."
Doing the Luddy the long way.
Oh, do it the long way. Yeah, that's the long way. No, you gotta put your hands down with it.
It's long though. It's more long if your hands are up.
If you go down, if you crunch and then up, I think that's Luddy the long way.
What
yeah.
does that even mean?
So you know, like they do the hand
you
down.
Start down.
Yeah, and then you do it up with both hands real high.
I feel like this is gritty stance.
That is the gritty stance. But if you do it, if you really express yourself, you'll be doing Luddy the long way.
It's this way.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah.
This way. Doing the Luddy the long way.
That's the long way.
Oh.
That's the long way.
It's hard to keep it up.
Use your boxing cardio. This is hitting the Luddy the long way. This causes me pain. It's like, you have such a fat dumper that when you turn it,
There's something extremely unsettling about the way that she says, "You have a fat dumper." I don't know what it is. So now this busted ass hoe has got iDubbbz, someone that people used to like, dancing like a monkey. Look at this. Look at how busted she is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is what busted looks like. You want to know what busted looked like? That's busted right there. I don't know if I was muted on accident when I was describing how she looks like she got beaten with a crowbar and is healing from it, but that's what I'm going for. Anyways, that's the Anisa update. Speaking of busted, Dylan Mulvaney, which is the X Days a Girl, has posted what they look like now that they've healed up after facial feminization surgery. I've not watched this, so let's watch it together. You ready? I regret this already. So he's like in weird scissor dress, and he looks like a man. He looks kind of like Michael Jackson. He's got that too much surgery face, and he's dancing. He is this guy is AGP. Watching this edit, you can tell this is a man who is deeply, deeply in love with himself, and this is pure like erotic AGP shit for him. He's still just like doing many, many different shots of himself in this dress. More dancing. Oh, playback aborted due to a network error. Wonderful. I guess we're safe. Wow, this is so insipid.
I just hope that all.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh, hi! I missed you. You know I have a flair for the dramatics, but it's so good, right?
This dude wants to fuck himself. This is. Would you fuck me? I can't make it stop now. This error has broken the site.
That all trans and non-binary.
You can mute it, I guess. So, yeah, there you go. That's why being so famous, because you're a tranny, that you can go visit Joe Biden and fix your fucking face. He doesn't even look like, he just looks like Michael Jackson. He's just got that plastic surgery face. But he'd fuck himself. He'd fuck himself hard. Okay. So I'm a little bit nervous. Let me, because I don't know if this has changed since I featured it. No, I don't think so. Oh, wait. No, okay, so he's not dead yet. I was just checking to see if he's died. He is not. Jack Scalfani, the guy who I played only a couple videos of, his most defining feature is that he has, I think, his right hand. He suffered a stroke at some point because he can't cook for shit, and his right hand is like immobilized. He has suffered a second heart attack, and he has suffered a second stroke. So now he's in the intensive care unit of the local hospital in urgent care, and he is presumably going to die. They're saying that his condition looks bad. They don't know if he'll make it. I think he's conscious, but he's on death's door. So based on what I've been told, what the family has made public, he is on his way out. So, in honor of Jack Scalfani, I have a 7-minute video here, which I'm going to skip through a minute of because we're going to get to the ingredients. Now that Kay has joined the dark side and has decided to DMCA strike videos all the fucking time, someone has requested that I watch this video called Aunt Myrna's Party Cheese Salad, which I think I've watched one time, because now that I'm looking at the ingredients, I was going to say I never watched this before. Now that I'm looking at the ingredients, I think I've seen this once on the local TV movie night, like years and years ago. But we'll watch this because this is the classic video people remember very fondly. So since this is a podcast, I'll try to describe it the best that I can.
Wait till you see this. I never would have put these ingredients together had it not been for Aunt Myrna. You got cream cheese, pimentos, Cool Whip, crushed nuts, any kind that you like. I'm using pecans. Lemon, or you can use lime jello, celery, bell pepper, pineapple, and American cheese.
Okay, here's okay. Number one, American cheese is fucking gross. Cool Whip is fucking gross. However, I wanna point something out that people fight over, but I've never noticed the difference. He has green bell peppers, which I'm pretty sure if you ask people who are like into food what bell pepper they like the most, they always hate green. I never even noticed that they have like different tastes. That goes to show you how much of like a food snob that I am. But he's got the dreaded green bell peppers for all of you who appreciate that.
Believe this? This is crazy. Let's go to the stove right now and get this thing started. Take your crushed pineapples and pour it in the pan. All right, get your Jello mix. You're gonna do 1 large Jello, lemon or lime, or you're gonna do 2 small packets. I grabbed a large one.
So he's just mixing Jello straight into the pineapple juice. That's like sugar already. So that's like super sweet. I would imagine, because you're supposed to dilute that with water. Is my internet down?
I'm not even sure.
No,
I'm not even sure what utensil to use for this. So
he's using like a silicone cake thing,
right now.
Cake paddle. I don't know what you'd call that.
There we go.
And yeah, this was so long ago that his arm still works.
It's gonna stick to the wooden spoon. All right, so we're gonna get this all mixed up. Okay, once the Jello is
not a spatula.
dissolved, you're gonna add. I chopped up the cream cheese. You're gonna add all your cream cheese in there.
Okay. Cream cheese into pineapple Jello
until it totally mixes in.
That doesn't sound good already. That doesn't sound good to me. That sounds a bit like a fucky wucky.
Cream cheese pretty much melted down. You can still see the chunks of pineapple in there.
Geez, I don't know how to describe that. I'm aware that in Polish, and I'm not just trying to be gross. I'm aware that in Polish, the English to Polish, there is a word for yellow, and it is żółty, I think.
Żółty.
That means yellow. That also means throw up. And when I see this kind of like really off-white yellow pineapple color, I'm thinking that's żółty right there. That's that little tidbit of word knowledge is what jumps to mind.
About ready to add the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna add the chopped celery.
The best bell peppers going in
Bell
right into the
peppers.
żółty.
Pimento. The nuts.
Wait, what was that?
Bell peppers. Pimento.
Pimento.
The nuts.
Peppers? Wait, was that in the ingredients list? What the fuck? Am I losing my mind? Oh, pimentos. Okay, that is a thing. That's tomatoes, right?
The nuts. We're gonna mix that in.
Spicy peppers.
I can't even begin to explain to you how amazing tasting
Oh,
this was.
okay.
It looks horrible, but I'm
Yeah, that
telling
looks
you,
like
Aunt Rita
barf
never
because it's like
has failed me yet.
you have like the żółty base stock, but then you have like the bright red peppers, the green peppers, and I don't even think the celery's in yet.
And I have had this.
It's pretty
So
nauseating
I
to
hope
look
mine
at.
turns out as good as hers. Have as good as hers. I'll be in business. Okay, I've
Pickled
turned the
peppers
flame
with
off. I'm
pimentos.
just
Okay,
mixing it
sorry.
in now.
I'm not a pimento enjoyer. I
Turn your
apologize.
flame off. There we go. Get it all mixed in.
I object to this being called goy slop. Goy slop, nothing that is using natural ingredients that you make at home can be goy slop. Goy slop necessarily must be something that is made as cheaply and shittily as possible so that it can feed a lot of people and satisfy them and make them fat and stupid and useless. This is bad food, but like, oh, Jello. Oh, that's a hard one. The Jello does make it kind of sloppy, don't it? Ooh. The fucking Cool Whip too. What was the other one that I had that was like really shitty? Oh, the American okay, the fake American cheese, chat. I take it back. The fake American cheese is goy slop. So even though this is made at home, the ingredients are the quintessential components of goy slop.
All right, here's a crucial ingredient. Your whipped cream. Let's get that out there.
How did you come up with this? What the fuck? Like, honestly, what did Aunt Myrna do
Gonna mix that in gently.
that made that, like,
Spill over.
a good idea?
And I don't recommend using, it's the Cool Whip. I don't recommend using imitation or fat-free or sugar-free.
Cool Whip is
'cause
imitation.
they
Does he
have a
not know
different
this?
reaction. This
Cool
is
Whip
one's a
isn't real
regular,
whip.
Real
That's what it's called, Cool Whip.
Real whipped cream. If you don't have Cool Whip, just use real whipped cream. Creamiest you can find. Thickest you can find. Now I'm going to move this off to the side.
It's oil. That's right. It's not Cool
Get my
Whip.
glass dish
Or, I mean,
here.
it's not, like, real whipped cream. That's why they have to label it
Dish
like that.
carefully.
The żółty has now entered the pan.
Kind of mix it around so the pineapple is all throughout the, just make sure all your ingredients are all throughout the dish, okay? Take your spoon gently through. You can smell.
There's
wow,
just
the
something
lemon
about,
and
like,
pineapple
the
are just
bright
busting out.
red and the bright
crazy
green
enough,
and
the
that
last
yellow.
step,
Oh,
you're gonna
fuck. Here
sprinkle
comes the
some
goy
on
cheese.
top.
The FDA legally
Use
dairy
American cheese.
byproduct
When
that
use
you
the
can
cheddar
buy
or
as a
sharp, 'cause it's
consumer
not
in the
gonna have
United
the same
States.
flavor effect.
Fun fact.
Now
American yellow cheese is considered to be schlop everywhere, except in one country. There is one country that cannot get enough of that shit, and I think it's because it's Korea, and I think it's because they're Asian. They have lactose intolerance, so that cheese is the closest thing they can get to like eating cheese without shitting their brains out. I'm pretty sure that's why, because it's not real cheese. I don't think it has any lactose in it. It's fucking garbage.
I'm going to chill this overnight, and then we're going to take a look at it in the morning. It's going to be solid. It's going to be cold. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be delicious. Okay, well, I realized I didn't have to wait overnight, and the family wants to try this out, so
The
we've only
family,
been
his
filming this
family,
for about
is looking at the Jilty in the fridge and thinking, "I papi, I desperately want to get at this. I can't, Papa, I can't hold my hunger in anymore. I need the Jilty, please, please, Papa, take it out of the fridge."
4 hours, but as you can tell, it's completely solid and cold, and it looks beautiful. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Look how awesome that looks. All right, so let's serve up a little section here and try it out. And you just cut it almost like a dessert, and you just scoop it out. Look at, can you see it? Can you see that? It's beautiful. Place it on a plate. Come on. There we go.
There are many words for that.
It almost has like a
Some of them
pudding
are
effect.
Polish, but beautiful isn't one of them.
We're gonna give that a try. Look at how beautiful that looks.
I can't even describe it. Like if I'm trying to describe this end product, he's cut out like a corner of it. I'm trying to describe the word I could use so that podcast listeners would know what the fuck to imagine. It looks like a cheese omelet, because it looks like a regular like like a frying pan full of egg that has been cooked, and now there's like American cheese sprinkled on top, and of course it's got bread in it, like some peppers and some green bell peppers in it, and celery. So, but I mean, minus the celery, I think like that's an omelet, but it's not an omelet. Instead of egg, there is a mixture of cream cheese, Cool Whip, and pineapple and Jello that makes up the base. Instead of egg yolk, it's really. I mean, that's probably as close as I can get just using words.
Wow.
Vomlet. Vomlet. That's good.
Of course, I don't know if mine came out as good. So here's to.
I remember how this
delicious
ends.
tasting.
He takes a bite. Slow chewing. Still
It
chewing.
blows my mind that it's so sweet and dessert-like, and has all those vegetables in it, and American cheese on top. It is really, it's so good.
Does he take
I can't
that second
explain
bite?
this to you guys.
He's not gonna do it.
It's sweet and it's crunchy and it's got a custard feel to it on your tongue. It's
He's not gonna do it. It's
All
gonna
right,
cut.
I'm gonna
I
challenge
bet you
that
$1 million
family.
it's gonna
You
cut
guys
before he
have a
puts
good
that
one,
shit in
and
his
I'll see you
mouth.
in the next episode. Take care.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, first thing we're gonna do, medium
He takes one bite and he's fucking done. I don't even think he swallows before before he manages to cut the video.
some to the family. You guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Bam, gone. Yeah, boy. What a I think the word would be Kino. That is that classic Kino Dogma 2007 that you just can't, that never happens on YouTube anymore. People like this don't make it to the big leagues like they used to in 2007. So that's our send off to Jack Shalfani if he decides to die today. I hope everyone has enjoyed Aunt Myrna's party cheese salad. Aunt Myrna is a fucking sick bastard. She brings that to a party. That's how you get revenge on your shitty stepson. This fucking idiot Jack married yours. She's your aunt, so your cousin, your niece, and you hate him, and you want to ruin his big family gathering. So you concoct this shit and you put it out on their Thanksgiving buffet, and everyone takes a bite, and they're just like, "Holy shit! This guy calls himself a professional chef, and he's serving this fucking jolty. This is horrendous." Elizabeth Bow. I don't know who the fuck that is, bro. You got to make a post on like the Maddie thread, because I think you've asked like every day for like the last month, and I've never even heard the name. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. I apologize. Anyway, Paul Pelosi. I don't care about politics. I want to talk about the trench. I did a video a while back about the tranche, about what we've come to call Alpachua, the the alleged burial of 6 million alpacas in the Colorado deserts, a strip of land which has been so thoroughly thrashed by overpopulation of alpacas that you can literally see photograph images of this parcel from space because it is completely ruined. No, not a pack of wits, a pack how, like Dachau, but with alpacas. Bonnie, who I believe is one of the founding members of the tranche, has announced that, quote, there have been some major developments within the Tenacious Unicorn Ranch, colloquially known as the tranche, and I think a solution can be found. It is my understanding that animals are currently in the process of being rehomed. She did not clarify if rehome meant actually given away to people who want alpacas or being buried in a hurry to cover the evidence of their crimes as they prepare for a withdrawal from the area. That remains to be seen. That will be decided at a trial at a later date, perhaps in southern Germany. And she continues saying, I hope that further talks will bring about the dissolution of the Tenacious Unicorn Ranch and that peace will come to those harmed. In a reply, someone named Nova Cypher replies saying, does the ASPCA or any other animal welfare organization just not care about how these poor alpacas are being treated? Bonnie replies saying, I have contacted the Colorado Humane Society. I'm going to try the Department of Agriculture next. I'm working on having the animals examined before they are rehomed. But once they leave the property, they are leaving behind a great deal of forensic evidence. I know where to exhume. So Bonnie, who is the lead prosecutor in the Alpacaburg trials, will be exhuming the bodies that the tranche thinks that they have cleverly hidden from investigators. And we'll be applying this information where applicable under international law. This is a post from the Tenacious Unicorn Ranch saying, hey y'all, as efforts to ramp up the move to our new location, we have closed the online store temporarily. You can still get merch if you stop in and visit, but with all the chaos of a move, we don't want to get behind on orders. We will open back up midsummer. I think that Bonnie does reply to this and says, keep in mind, and here they are undermining the efforts of them continuing to sell merchandise. Bonnie replies saying, keep in mind that if you plan on buying more merch in the future, that it will not be going towards housing trans people or feeding a herd of animals. This is what appears to be a Telegram or Discord message saying, they're moving. They have the plan of giving up the herd, going into more farming on Penny's parents' land, giving up the housing thing, but still doing shutouts and stuff like the indigenous people stuff. If they can get back into housing, great. If not, oh well. Penny has expressed her frustration that housing had been a mess and that they want to do agriculture for weed and farmers markets moving forward, which is a less destructive endeavor. I would imagine if you're going to go into agriculture, as someone who's never done agriculture, maybe start with a plant. Maybe start with like a kitchen plant. If you can have a plant on your desk that doesn't die, then you can start looking at like tomatoes and stuff. And then if you can manage to have a bunch of tomatoes and those don't die, then maybe you can try a chicken. And then if those don't die, you can try something bigger. I think it's a bad idea to go for exotic camelids immediately, even though they are very cute. I can imagine why you would do that if you don't have any forward-thinking abilities whatsoever. Basil plants, exactly. So in reply to Bonnie, I believe, Elena Minagari replies saying, hey, I'm assuming that they're a polycule. They're one of those people that has like a headmate thing going on where they pretend to be schizophrenic, because I think they have multiple personalities listed in their name. But this person replies saying, sorry, these people reply saying, I have been to the trench multiple times. The animals are not being abused. The trench, however, is being forced into a bad situation due to harassment from bad actors. They basically have to move because of this, and are needing to rehome them is due to the bad actors. Nova replies saying, bad actors are responsible for the alpaca graveyard, I guess. Good reply, I guess. And this is the bio of this person. Alana Foxy, a six-tailed fox known as Sylvan Curinzon Tutato, a median of the menagerie system, trans male to female, she, her, demisexual, otherkin, therian, and fae species dysphoric, from Denver, Colorado. You can find them at faefox.org. I do want to see this. The deceptive site ahead. Attackers on faefox may trick you into doing something like installing software. I literally cannot visit this site. My browser is not. Oh wait, I can visit this site. Okay. It's not letting me. Google Chrome is telling me, Josh. Oh wait, I got in. Why? How? I don't understand how this site is listed dangerous. Very strange. It's just like a copy of their Tumblr blog, but they've somehow fucked up their security so badly that Google Chrome is just like, absolutely not. You're not visiting the site. And I believe that this is them. For clarity, this is a. Let me make sure I get it right. Wait, no, this is a differently person. This is exceedingly gay. Wait. Oh no, that is them. This is them. This is the Elena Menagerie. And I'm saying them. I mean that. I don't mean that as a singular they. I mean that as a plural they. This is them. This is a she, her, demisexual, other Cantherian, face species dysphoric. Wow. That's a really bad fursuit. That's funny. I feel bad. Like, I know these probably take a lot of work to make, but that is really fucking bad looking. Maybe it's just like they wear it bad. There you go. These are the people that are allowed to own alpacas for some reason, I guess. Here's the member of their polycule, by the way. The fox is Elena Tripnocht, the fairy fox, or Sylveon, which is a Pokemon. The mushroom is Miriam Vulpeculi Trinoct, the mushroom fox, or jackal. The lizard is Raisley Serenti, the fairy dragon, swallower of tears. The bunny is Miranda Tripnocht, fey-ish bunny. The flower is Abe no Kuzunoha Kitsune. Yes, that Kitsunoha. Deal with it. So, when I read that and you thought, oh my god, the Kuzunoha? Yes, chat. It is that Kuzunoha, actually. The infinity symbol is Mayokanita Vulpeculi, the divine mushroom fox. And then they also are a computer that says Ariel, artificial intelligence. So not only are they this insane person, they're also an artificial intelligence. All this shit, and they're still retarded. You would think between like the 8 of them, they would be not retarded, especially with the computer in their head. They would be not retarded, but alas, they are a retard. Yes, that's an adult. That's like a 60-year-old man who's been it says 25 years, so he's been in the furry fandom since like 1998, and he's this. Oh, that's funny. You know, I'm so glad we live in such a diverse society. Chat with a Y. Now that I've eaten my gym potatoes, I'm gonna start calling you chat. Weimar. I'm pretty sure that this shit was not happening in the Weimar. Pretty sure that if you walked around the streets of Berlin and be like, "Hi, I'm 8 people in a computer," you would be beaten to death. The German people would instinctively run at you with whatever weapon was closest to them: purses, umbrellas, walking sticks, and they would just fucking kill you, and right there as you stood, just beat you down like you're a fat man taking a trip to Portugal. There are no Germans. I'm saying that in the Weimar, back when Berlin was the capital of I guess it was still called the German Reich, but it was a much weaker one. I think it was a republic briefly, right? So I brought this up for a reason. Oh, I remember. There's a story attached to this that I'll go through. Sorry, I keep knitting because I'm koofing. I'm koofing shit. So this is Danielle Moscato, who is described as a brave, beautiful woman fighting against cis sexism and transphobic bigotry. They describe themselves as an atheist, civil rights activist, musician, trans woman, as seen in the New York Times, Time, Wall Street Journal, the BBC, CNN, O'Reilly, Hendy, NPR, Rolling Stone Facebook page. So this is a super important person that you need to take seriously. Here she is in all of her beauty and glory. If you can't tell, this is a fat man, and he has some kind of fucked up mark on his face. It looks like someone like hit him straight between the eyes with some kind of stick. Genuinely looks unkempt. So I have seen this person taking shots at us. They're one of those people that are like hyperactive on Twitter, making like trying to oh shit, sorry, I apologize. Here you go. The chat was scrolling so fast, I'm like, damn, they really like the commentary that I'm doing for this guy. And then I see that everyone's begging me to turn back on my my browser so they can see what the fuck I'm talking about. So there you go. That's what he looks like. Now there is a story attached to this. Like I said, I've seen this person like talk about us a lot on Twitter. I've never attached it to this person's face. I've never bothered to look them up. However, Brave Danielle, who I believe is a moderator of R Atheism on Reddit. So if you want to know what kind of people moderate on Reddit, here we have specimen number 3 for today. Danielle Moscato, and there's a little bit going on. So poor Danielle has been having an issue with houselessness, as they like to say. In this big long Reddit post, or I think it's a Facebook post, but they describe I'm just gonna say she to piss people off. Because this I mean, if we're gonna give respect to any trans woman, this is the person to do it to. She, the beautiful, strong fighter for freedoms, explains in so many words how she has been wronged by her terrible father. And here we have a clip from this where in the self-defense situation, brave Danielle recorded her argument with her father. And I'm gonna play this. I'm not listening to this. I've been told it's good. It's 3 minutes long, so let's listen in.
Please leave me alone. Please, I came down to my bedroom. I'm recording right now. I came down here to get away from you. I don't want to talk to you. So please leave me alone.
This was recorded. I want to say, let's look at this, because right off the bat I got some things to say. This was on Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, our year of Lord. And this person, who is at least in his 40s, might be in his 50s at this point, because I don't know how old this post is. This post was made in 2016. So this is 7 years ago that this post was made almost. He could be in his 50s now. He looks early, like mid 40s here. He could be in his 50s now. Here he is in his dad's basement, recording his dad talking about him being a big bully jerk, and him saying, I just want to record, I just want to have a good stream and have a good time. Let's see how it progresses.
Just go away.
Ooh, someone in chat asked, why record your darkest moment? Well, I don't know if you remember, but there was a recording by a guy called Schmorky having an argument with his girlfriend, Amanda, who was schizophrenic and unmedicated. And Schmorky thought that recording this argument would make him would make him look really good if he published it online to show what a terrible person that unmedicated schizophrenic is. And it really backfired on him. I wonder what's going to happen with this recording.
I want to be left alone. I want privacy. Just go away. Just go away. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just go away from me, please. Go away. Go away. I want you to leave me alone, and you are antagonizing me. Get away from me. Go back upstairs. I came down here to get away from you. I came down here to get away from you. Please go away. Please go away. I've asked you 20 times. Please go away. Please go away from me. 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 Go upstairs, please. I came down here to get away from you. This is my bedroom. I don't have anywhere else to go. I had surgery. I can't drive. All my meds are upstairs. I am in pain. I just want to be left alone. Go upstairs, please. I didn't even have dinner to get away from you. I don't have anywhere else to go. Please go away. Please go away. Please leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I've said this 50 times now. I'm recording all of this. Please go away. Please go away. Please leave me alone. Please go away. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't know what else to do. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to throw things. I want you to go
No. What do you want from me?
away. I am repeating this over and over and over. Go away. If you go away from me, then go away from me. Leave me alone. If you're so scared of me, go away from me. I came down here to get away from you. I came down here to get away from you. I came down here to get away from you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't know what else to say. You are harassing me. Leave me alone. You fucked up my wrist, and now you are harassing me. Go away from me.
You know,
I am afraid of you, you motherfucker. Leave me alone.
So this guy, he's now huddling in fear in his father's basement at the age of 50, saying that you have to leave me alone, and he has nowhere else to go. I'm thinking like, okay, so you're 50 years old, you're tranny, and your dad is a big meanie poopy head who hurt your wrist or something at 50. I don't know. I'm assuming that if he's 50, his dad is like 70. So his 70-year-old father is still able to overpower and beat him mercilessly and break his wrist. And I'm just trying to imagine, how do you budget yourself out of that situation? Thinking like, you know, that budget meme where he's like, help, my family is starving and I can't eat. What do I do to balance my budget? And like $5,000 a month is going to candles. And someone says, stop buying so many candles. He just says, no. It's like, okay, poor Danielle can't afford rent. His family is beating him. He can't get out of his house. What does he do? Someone suggests him, stop spending your every waking hour moderating Reddit. And he just goes, no. And that's how we get to here at 50 years old.
You don't deserve to have a child. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. You're a failure as a parent. You piece of shit. Go back upstairs. I came down here to get away
what
from
an asshole.
You attacked me, and now you're harassing me. I have PTSD. I didn't have dinner. I didn't take my meds. I came down here to get away from you as fast as I could. Go away. Go away from me. This is my room. I have nowhere else to go. Go away. Go away from me, please.
Oh my God. There's something about this audio that's triggering a violent part of my brain. I'm like seeing red. I'm just thinking like, if I was that guy, there would be no force in this world to stop me from beating the fuck out of this thing until he decides of his own volition that he is going to leave my house. And he just doesn't stop talking. He doesn't he doesn't know what to do when he's not on Reddit. He's like, I can't ban my dad from talking to me in my own basement room. Why not? This is a violation of my civil rights of being a trans woman.
I'm not going to stop saying this until you walk upstairs. Go away. Go away from me. Leave me alone. We are not doing this now. I am recording this because you will not stop harassing me about it. Go upstairs, please.
He's recording himself. He's recording himself talking nonstop. Okay, let's say that I didn't have the ability to murder this person with my bare hands for whatever reason. It wasn't allowed. It was off the table. It's something I couldn't do. I would just stand there and like, you got to maintain eye contact. Stand there in the doorway, maintain eye contact, and just allow him to record and just keep talking. and then like just go bop, and he was this no, he was just start up again. Just every time he slows down, bop, and he was just start up again. Just keep doing that until he has tired himself out. Eventually, he would collapse from exhaustion because he's a 50-year-old transgender redditor who's like 500 pounds. He would collapse from the sheer exhaustion of speaking, and you would have won the confrontation without laying a hand on him.
I have nowhere else to go. Go upstairs. Go upstairs, please. Please. Oh my God. How many times do I have to say it? It's been like 5 fucking minutes. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go upstairs. I don't know what is wrong with you. Why are you still here? Leave me alone. Go upstairs, please. Please go upstairs. I have nowhere else to go. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop interrupting me and just go upstairs.
He's not even talking.
Please. I'm begging you to leave me alone and stop harassing me.
Look, he's on the verge of tears. You've almost won. Drive the stake through his heart.
3 minutes. Jesus Christ.
He literally does have the speech pattern and like defense mechanisms of like a literal teenage boy. This is like if a 15-year-old was like this, you'd be like, okay, whatever, they're a teenager. This is like a 50-year-old Reddit moderator. This guy thinks that he has the emotional maturity to manage a community of people who are like, whereas he can't even manage himself. He's such a fucking wreck, and he thinks that he has the acuity to decide what can and cannot be said on the internet. And Reddit has bestowed upon him this power instead of letting him like eat shit out of a trash can. Every time, like, there's that famous Winston Churchill quote, like, the best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. The best argument against socialism or any kind of like welfare system is to look at who benefits from such a system. Like, I don't think that this person will ever contribute anything to anything ever for any reason, not even accidentally. He'll never contribute to anything. Like, why do we sustain him? Nobody would be able to give me a single argument why we should not allow Danielle Moscato to starve to death. You could never convince me that there is some innate value to human life that requires me to sustain someone who does not want to work or support themselves in any way. I truly believe that we would be a better place if we just let these people fucking starve if they didn't want to do anything. That's what my exposure to the internet has taught me. But we continue. We continue, chat. So daddy is such a mean poo-poo head for allowing this 50-year-old transgender warrior for cis people, or for trans people, I guess, in his house, that he has decided to ante up. He has posted a picture of his boo-boo on his wrist. And he says, I am a guitarist. I just had back surgery and I can't use my cane on the correct side. This man maliciously refused to give me my medications or specialty bedding for my back pain for a month. So he says his father, Dr. Joe Moscato, who, if you're wondering, is a real doctor and makes a lot of fucking money, apparently, like millions of dollars, is a child abuser and spousal abuser. His corrupt police officer's son, Detective Andy Moscato, on Colombian PD, has been illegally covering for him for years. Dr. Joe paid him $100,000 to lie about assaulting and battering me. So he has gone scorched earth on his own father and brother. This is what his dad, putting up with him for 40 fucking years after the point he could have left his house, has paid him back for it. If he had just let this guy like die on the street, then he would not being defamed like this. Actually, you know what? I didn't even think to pull up the site. Dr. Moscato is it's just a fucking, this lazy cunt can't even set up a fucking defamation website. He just links to his own fucking Twitter chain. That's how fucking lazy this piece of shit is. Incredible. Incredible. Can't even do a fucking hit job on his own father correctly. Just fucking redirects it to a Twitter chain. I hate him even more. I hate him even more now. And so, like, okay, he's got like experience as a web admin or some shit, right? And he can't like set up a WordPress blog with like evidence. It's just a link, redirect to a Twitter chain. Okay. So he bought car magnets with his domain name. He says he hasn't built up the website yet. This was 10 days ago. So right now, it just goes to my Twitter explaining what's going on. Next is building the site to advertise the show and provide details for people who can help domestic abuse survivors. We're going to raise a lot of money for the cause. I'm excited. One like. A lot of money, chat. A lot of money. We're going to have the best, everyone's going to be talking about this in the future. In the same way we talk about other, like the NRA or other huge 501c3s, we're going to be talking about Dr. Moscato's abusive 501c3 registered charity. They do a lot of good, chat. They raise a lot of money. They help a lot of people in bad situations get out of it. We're always thankful for the Dr. Moscato's abusive company. He says, I registered the domain name Dr. Moscato is abusive. For now, I'm just putting it here, but I will be building a website that raises funds and promotes my one-woman show of the same title, Dr. Moscato is Abusive, a true story of child abuse. Police. So he's starting a podcast because he's a white man, and that's what we do. And he's naming a show Dr. Moscato is Abusive, a true story of child abuse, police corruption, and domestic violence. I feel like if, instead of naming my show Men at the Internet, I just called it Fuck You Mom, Reasons Why I Don't Like My Mom. and that was my show. Would you guys still watch my podcast if it was just called Fuck You Mom? would you guys be able to tell it, like, your friends, like, yeah, listen to the Fuck You Mom podcast by Josh? And then he links to the Twitter thread that we've already read. So here is another update. Yeah, actually, everyone's in favor. That's my backup plan. Fuck you, Mom. Daniel Moscato on January 3rd says, another update today about my dad's domestic violence against me. I emailed my dad's expensive legal team, all three of them, with a rough draft of a settlement offer. Too long didn't read the purpose of my one-woman show this spring. Dr. Moscato is abusive, a true story of child abuse, police corruption, and domestic violence. It's to raise awareness about domestic abuse and to raise money for that cause. I love how utterly transparent that is. Like, it's like the name of the show is literally just Fuck You Dad. And instead of saying, like, my podcast about my shitty fucking dad is to raise awareness about how my dad is shitty, he has to pretend that there's some grandiose cause attached to it. The Fuck You Mom podcast is awareness about single moms and how allowing your children to raise themselves with a mixture of RuneScape, Blockland, and 4chan results in catastrophic destruction that is equitable to a natural disaster. Like, no, you're doing it because you're angry, buddy boy. You don't have to masquerade it as like this awareness program. You have to, yeah. you have to just be honest about it. I made an offer saying that if my dad pays me approximately $500,000 for the things that he has done to me and the things he is doing to me now, I won't sue him for pain and suffering and emotional distress, depriving me of housing, forcing me to live in a hotel and recover alone from back surgery, along with my emotional support animal, without my emotional support animal, without my PTSD or pain medications for weeks. Conspiring with police to stop me from reporting him, bribing a police officer with $100,000. I could go on and on with more things he has done. He's a millionaire many times over. $500K is something he could do today easily. Also, as part of the settlement offer, I said I want him to make a $1 million donation to his cause of information and support for domestic abuse victims, and I suggested an organization to donate to. He could easily afford this if he chooses. That donation would satisfy my desire to raise money for this cause, and I said I would agree not to do my one-woman show and promote it with the website Dr. Moscato is Abusive instead if he does so. You can read the whole thing here. So this is literally extortion. I think that if his dad really, really wanted to, he could go to the police and ask them to press charges for extortion, because if you say, pay me $500,000 or I will try to ruin your life with a podcast website and literal billboard campaign in your house where you do business, that is probably, I mean, if I was in the jury and I saw this Facebook post and I saw the website and the stuff and the pod, like, it's okay all the way up until the money. You can be a huge asshole to someone, but if you try to ask them for $500,000 not to go through with being a huge asshole, that's extortion. Classic. If I was in a jury and I was asked, is this extortion? I would say yeah, for sure it is. So, and I don't know, that might be what happens. I'm glad that Kiwi Farms archives this. I would be happy if it was used in court against this entitled fucking man baby. Reddit moderator. And I say extortion instead of like, you know, any other thing, because extortion is criminal. And it's like, he should go to jail. You know, what, you're crying about how fucking houseless you are? Okay. We have a house. I got a house for you. I got a place you can stay, buddy. Hey, buddy, I got a place for you to stay. You like couch surfing, buddy? I got a nice couch for you, buddy. Sarah Myers. So this is a person calling out. I believe this person is also trans. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, don't quote me on that. I'm just gonna read it because I don't have a note for this. If you have never read my post, please pay attention to this one. I have been going back and forth for at least 2 years with other women about what to do with this person, and I only hold. So this is November 3rd, 2022, by the way. I only hold the power of social media to let me spread the astronomical deceit that has been happening under far left-wing noses. Danielle Moscato was supposedly my best friend for 2 years. This person became obsessed with me. Oh, so this is a real woman. Offering me all their time, resources, and energy to be my friend, despite the fact they lived on $600 a month while I was living in a high-rise downtown apartment. I was a young 23-year-old plagued by a psychotic illness that was ruining my life. I was desperate for someone to understand me and agreed to befriend Daniel under the guise of pro-feminist progressive LGBT pride. After 1.5 years, Danielle began grooming me as a potential sexual partner. When the third attempt at physical contact was breached, repeated attempts to kiss me goodbye, I cut this person from my life, attempting to rid of the disgust I felt and betrayal of a platonic friend turned into a sexual conquest. I thought nothing of it, knowing I recognized the desperation and plea in the beginning, but ignored it for the sake of company and relating to a life of someone living with serious mental illness. Then, 1 year later, a mutual friend of ours messages me to tell me Danielle has lied about all of her sexual and romantic relationships. Danielle frequently told me that she was dating a celebrity singer with a Grammy Award-winning artist. There were message receipts. The celebrity also sent me a happy birthday video. I can confirm that the celebrity was in fact present in Danielle's life, but Danielle was using this made-up story of dating her to manipulate me into marrying Danielle to get health insurance, attempting to get me to send them nudes, and overall attempting to persuade me into having a relationship with them. So this is Danielle talking about, oh wait, no, there's a second post. We were all shocked. Then more girls came out to confess Danielle had targeted them sexually, most often girls at my age in their early 20s. Danielle was approximately 10 years older. Oh my God, he's only 30 and he looks like that. That's fucking awful. That dude's in his like late, I mean, this is 2016. Is this like late 20s? Is this what this man looks like in his late 20s and now he's like in his 30s? That's fucking, he could just be lying about his age. They do that. Yeah, I think he's lying. Let me check this on. I don't want to like accidentally show his docs on screen if it's in this thread. Let me see if this says how old he is. It does not say in the thread. I would say he's in his 40s and he just lies. So that's like a 10-year age gap instead of 20. Let me continue. More girls came out to confess, blah, blah, blah. We also found out Danielle wrote books on pedophilia under a pseudonym. I did not see that coming. This isn't even halfway over. There's so much more, but to keep this short, I will point out that this person was using liberal politics to play under the guise of victimized, traumatized, mentally ill trans woman. And many of us suspect this is entirely a made-up and false guise used to gain status and notoriety, given their appearance on New York Times, CNN, and more. This is just one story to signify how deep the division of politics we have become, to celebrate a grifting activist that primarily begs for their supporters of real money for them to feel sorry as they wail on about rape, transidentity, and victimization, which are actual traumas that real women face daily. Okay, so this is not a trans woman. Can you all see why I don't sleep at night? This buffoonery literally is getting away with all the madness, and there's no one but cheeky conservatives to hold these people accountable. If you're a media personality, please help me brainstorm the next steps. A weird way to sign off on that post. But Davey here says, success. My abusive ex who raped me and stole prescription pain meds is banned from Tinder. She can't even make a new profile. Her phone number, IP address, device, face recognition, AI tech, etc. means banned. She can never use Tinder to destroy anyone else's life in the future. So this fucking asshole tried to groom someone like 20 years younger than him and then accused her of raping him and got her banned from Tinder. So this mentally ill, socially isolated woman is more isolated than before. Bravo, if you're a listen, okay. If you're a misogynist, you're like a Nick Fuentes incel type, and you just really hate women, you don't even become like an Elliot Rodgers. Just become trans, like fake trans, and then use that to be like a psychologically abusive like monster. Just like multitask how many like different lives you're destroying at any given time. You're probably, and if you really like properly went about being like an incel tranny, you could probably get more women to kill themselves than what Elliot Rodgers shot. You know what I mean? Or like ruin a higher number of lives by engaging in the kind of shit that they get away with on the regular. That's just my take. I think that incels have done. What I'm saying is that being tranny is worse than being Elliot Rodgers. Basically, is my point here in this tangent. Is he Jewish? His last name is Moscato. I actually looked this up because I was curious. His last name is Moscato, which apparently is like Latin for all-knowing one. And I couldn't find any information on if he's Jewish or not. His father's a doctor. That's pretty Jewish. Okay. There's more. You think he's saying that he's ill now? Let's see. I have a form of OCD. Oh, so he does this to himself. Dermatillomania means that I compulsively pick at the skin on my face. It hurts and makes social interaction awkward. I'm mostly a homebody because of my looks. This guy just doesn't clean himself. I bet you what it is. I know exactly what this is. You see that 5 o'clock shadow? He shaves and he doesn't bathe. And the razor burn turns into pimples because he has oily, greasy skin from not bathing, and he pops them. And he just pops his zits all the time because he's a greasy fat fuck, and the razor burn makes his skin more pimply. That's exactly what that is, because it's right around the razor burn, and it's not like anywhere else on his head. I don't know why I know this, but when looking at it, I can tell you that's exactly what that is. And he's saying that it's dermatillomania or whatever. The thing which is, I think what June has, Shuon Head, she has that thing where she has like a kind of OCD where she picks at her hair. But I guarantee you that he's just a greasy fuck that doesn't bathe and tries to shave for AGP reasons. But that just causes it to get, he doesn't do it properly and he doesn't clean, so it just gets infected. Okay, that's Daniel Moscato, someone I've never talked about on stream before, that I've seen many times in many different ways, and just never got around to for whatever reason. The briefest Chantal update in the world before I talk about Ralph, as we enter the second half of the second hour. Chantal has officially converted to Islam. She has taken the Shahada, which is the you've probably heard the Shahada before in English. It goes along the lines of Allah is the one true God and the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. That's basically what that means. And it's very short. It's a very short statement, and they usually want you to take it in Arabic. And all that's required for you to become a Muslim is to recite the Shahada and to make a commitment to Allah and Muhammad in the Quran. They give you a Quran when you convert. So she has a very nice hardcover Quran with gold on the cover, quite nice. and a little welcoming package from that that mosque that she went to and took the Shahada at. And that's it. So she has become an Islam. I think that the technical term for this box that she's holding is the Islam conversion kit. Usually goes for $99.99 on the internet, but if you take the Shahada in a properly Muslim country, you might get it for free. So good for her. Good for her. She's on her way out of Kuwait, by the way. She's been in Kuwait living with her, apparently her husband, for this entire time. There was some suspicion that she was not married because you can't marry on a tourist visa. However, she has revealed that she actually had a work visa because he operates like an Avon perfume sales business, and he was able to hire her under his business. And I think because she was there on a work visa, she was allowed to get married. So she's legally married. She's flying back to Canada, and then she's probably going to put the cat down, we believe, and then she's probably going to fuck Nader again, we believe. And then she's going to probably kick Pete out of the house, we believe. And then she's going to move to Quebec because Quebec is the only place in Canada that you can sponsor an immigrant member of your family when you have a bankruptcy. So that's what's coming up on the Chantal timeline. Bye, Pete. Sorry that I cucked you with a black man and aborted two of your babies, and basically ruined your life and made you an effeminate trans lesbian who is addicted to like teen lesbian romance comic books. There's like apparently an entire genre of teen lesbian romance visual novels that Pete has like literally 1,000 of. He showed off his box of teen lesbian romance like visual novels, and he has literally like 100 of these, like that he keeps under his bed. It's very strange and bizarre. And that's it. That's the update. Yesterday was a big day. Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of Ethan Ralph getting his fucking head smashed in the streets of Portugal. Or as I like to say now that I've had my gem potatoes, Portugal is what I used to say. So you guys ass kicked in Portugal 1 year ago. Time flies, don't it? Don't you feel old? And that's it for that. Now, on the eve of celebrating his ass getting kicked in Portugal, he has picked a second country to visit. And he has committed $1,400 to a trip to Rome. Now, it may be tempting for some people who live in the Italia Iridentia area who can pay $90 to take a 1.5 hour flight to Rome, to go to Rome and potentially beat Ethan Ralph's ass. It's slightly tempting. However, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. That is technically touching the poo. I'm sure Ralph smells of poo as well. When in Rome. So let's see. Let's see what the next slide is. I forget what I was gonna say. This is a Ralph quote. It's 1 minute long. Apparently Ethan Ralph really likes it. I don't know what it is. Let's see.
Lauren, Ashley.
I asked people to send me some Ralph shit to play, because you know it's all gonna be good usually. Ralph has been on a tear this week of yelling at people and deciding how to fuck up his life. He's actually been drunk as shit. He's like, this is like his second week on a bender. He's like, every time he starts up stream, he's just wasted. I saw one stream where he was wasted and everyone's like, oh my god, it's a pill stream, tune in. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch Cozy. I bring up his stream and he literally can't, he's so drunk he can't figure out OBS, so he just quits out. He's like, oh, give me a second, I'm rebooting it. And then there is no stream. He never comes back. And all the gunt guards, all the mods in his chat, all the fucking retards from Cozy are like, don't leave, he's coming right back. And they keep saying this over and over again for like 30 minutes. And Ralph literally never comes back. And they're just like, oh, I guess he's not coming back. And it's pretty funny to watch them lose their hope, watch it crushed in real time. But
Lauren, Have you got that?
Well, you know, I may sound like I'm
I'm
from the
already
South.
following.
I may sound like I'm from the South, and I am, but my IQ is about 335,000 points higher than yours.
But
but that's
You're
okay.
operating on a higher RAM
Yeah,
processing
yeah, I
speed.
actually am. You're a woman to boot, so you know.
Okay,
Anyway,
is your wife a woman?
yeah, she is, and she's also less intelligent than me. So. Is there anything else that you would like to know?
She probably doesn't appreciate you saying
I don't
that
give
to
a fuck
everyone.
what she appreciates. I say whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, you're
Okay.
like my brother.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. Anyway,
How old are you anyway?
none of your damn business.
None of my god dang business.
I
Is
was
that
gonna
what you
say
were
the
gonna
Lord.
say?
I was gonna say the Lord's name in vain, and then I saw such a
no,
worthless
don't do
trollop.
that. It's church
Such a
tomorrow.
worthless trollop like yourself is not worth that. And so, what is it that I need to type in?
He must have really bad mommy issues, because nothing makes him tard rage harder than a woman making fun of him. Like, any woman saying anything to him makes him so fucking mad. I would love to see like someone more competent than Stardust to actually go at Ralph as a more competent woman, because it would I think the biggest hard rage we would ever get out of him would come from a woman sending him off. He really fucking hates it. This is all from a conversation that he had with Stardust. We don't know, Stardust is like a wannabe bread tuber. I think she's like a Persian woman. She's got a big nose. A lot of guys simp for her. She seems okay. I don't know too much about her, but she kind of like does that thing where she's like, she tries to like show up on bigger streamers platforms to draw attention to her, you know, to grow her audience. Mid. Oh, she's Indian. I thought she was Persian. Sorry. Her nose is really big, and she's got a fair complexion, so that says more Persian to me than Indian. Oh, whatever. So this is Ralph reminding everybody that he's not short for no reason.
Actually 1 inch taller than you, but when you have on 3-inch heels, you're taller than me.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And you know what I said? Tell the truth.
This is because because May is doing the June squat next to him and all the wedding photos to make herself look shorter. By the way, Ralph also wears like 4-inch heels. He's got big ass rubber soles in his to keep his legs up higher. So I don't know who he's trying to fool.
I am taller than you.
No, and my torso is like way shorter than yours too. So it's really
First off, I slump. So if I set up straight, it's a different story. But like, you're actually not taller than me.
I'm like all legs too. It's really funny. I could just sit in your lap.
He's so angry. He's so angry that he just won't say like, "Yeah, you're so much taller than me." Oh my god. This was him admitting that he lost money during a stupid wrestling thing because all that merchandise was abandoned on someone's property, and he was allowed to do whatever he wants to.
Supported the show tonight. And honestly, I ended up losing just a little bit of money on Ralphamania, and it was only
He's
because
hiccuping. He's so drunk he's doing the hiccup that you get when you drink.
Got destroyed, and I had to replace the shirts. I didn't lose much, and you know, so I didn't sweat that at all. Honestly, yeah, it sucked, but I barely even lost any money. It was more of just a giant party for Killstream fans. And on the next one, I ain't gonna lose no money, but it was honestly one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. I hope everybody else felt the same way, and I think they did. Quite honestly,
I'm trying to really imagine what it is that's making him drink so much, because part of me wants to believe that it's like it's probably a combination of things, because you got Harry Morris fucking with him, You have the wrestling thing, which didn't make any money. And I'm sure he like budgeted into his spending before it even happened, the money that he would make in his head. So he probably lost money. Harry, by the way, Harry was giving May and the baby money, and since Ralph has cut him off from the baby, he stopped paying for May's expenses. So now Ralph is paying for her expenses. So his money is being stretched thinner because he has to actually pay for his kid now. And then the Vickers is still fucking with him. He has a court date. I don't know when. I want to say the 8th of February is the number that comes to mind. I don't know if that's true. But actually, no. I'm not sure when it is. But when he got served at that at the rest, basically he lost money at the Ralphomania only to get served 3 times. So now he has to appear in court to talk about his domestic violence restraining orders. He is being accused of violating the restraining orders against Faith 14 times and an additional 5 times against Mr. Vickers, because he's not allowed to actually talk about them, and he does continuously. So that's probably also stressing him out. And now his brilliant idea, after losing money on Ralphomania, after being drunk constantly, having more expenses than ever before, and having to show up at criminal court, I think by Zoom, for his restraining order violations, he's already dropped $1,400 to go to Rome. And then he did he said he was going to do a 12-hour stream with the goal of making that money back after he spent it. And he made like $800 something after 8 hours. And he was so drunk that he was nodding off or drugged up or something. And he just abandoned the stream halfway through. So he gave up. He didn't make the money back during his begathon. And at the end, towards the end, he was literally begging. He was literally begging, saying that that like, can we get like $63, $73 to make this around 1,000? Can we get $73? The kid just kept begging for that number, and then someone tipped him $7.30, like $7.30, and he got pissed off and he just quit, which is pretty funny. I don't know what this picture is for. I think I think he wants her to start making content. That's what this is for, because he's bringing her on the stream. And now that she is a burden to him, an expense to him, and daddy's not paying for her anymore, Ralph's thinking, I need to fucking turn this trick out to get me more money, because she costing me money and she ain't doing nothing all day. She's just raising them fucking kids. And fuck that. This hoe needs to work. So here's the hollering with Stardust. I think on that note, actually, I'm going to skip ahead and I'll come back to that. Now that May has to make content, let's look at her content and then we'll get back to the hollering.
Hi, everybody. It's Mrs. Ralph.
So she's wearing the horrible... That frog is like the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen, and he puts it on everything now. It's like his Ralphomania logo. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's really grotesque. It looks awful. And she's wearing one of the salvage shirts.
Happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the rabbit, and the rabbit symbolizes peace and prosperity. So going into this new year, I hope all of you make peace with your enemies and that you prosper. Last night, I did an interview with Stardust, and in the words of Ali Jamal, I found it mildly discouraging. I was really excited actually to do an interview because I don't often get a chance to give my side of things. And Stardust came to Ethan and said that she wanted to do a fair interview, and she was all excited to talk to the girl creator. And I go to the interview and I personally didn't think it was very professional or that she came prepared well with questions. So I would be open to possibly doing another interview with her or with somebody else. Just maybe we could set some ground rules before.
She's talking... Okay, it doesn't make sense without having seen the hollering first. Stardust asked May, have you seen the sex tape? And Ralph immediately gets super pissed I don't know how else to describe it. He just does his Ralph thing where he starts hollering immediately. And it's like, we got some kind of fucking issue, huh? That's what I thought. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm just saying, you're kind of acting a little bit tense there, you know, asking some bitch ass fucking questions out of the left side, trying to stab me in the back and shit. Like that fucking thing he does. Here's the Amanda content. I don't know what the fuck this is. The caption is Killstream Honeymoon. Legit, I'm just gonna play it. It's 48 seconds of pure agony. Enjoy.
I want a good show. I want my money's worth. I don't want any kiss in the ring stuff. And I don't want my family watching two grown men pussyfooting around each other for half an hour before one of them aims a real blow. There's been too much of that in the past. But don't think you can fool me either, because I know every trick in the book, including the pig's blood in the bladder to make it look as if one of you is dead. There's been too much of that too lately. These games are being degraded by the increasing use of professional tricks to stay alive, and I won't have it. So put on a good show, and there'll be plenty of money for the living, and a decent burial for the dead. And if not, I'll break this guild up, and I'll send the lot of you to the mines in Numidia.
I don't know if that is like a movie quote. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I don't know what the fuck it means. I have no idea why any of that's happening. By the way, compare this shit to this. Who oh fuck. Who did it better? When you're being outclassed by an AGP, I mean, they kind of have like the same body type. That's exactly what I think Amanda looks like if she wore skimpy clothes. She might have less of a Michael Jackson face though, but I don't know. Her face isn't particularly feminine. Let's see here. That's May. And that's, what's his face? Dylan. No, he has the LA nose. I think they did a nose job on him to give that pointy nose that all the LA people have. They don't really, the face doesn't look alike, but the body is pretty similar. So, this is her. Ralph sat down and said, bitch, yo, Papa, you know, I was okay having you around with you taking care of the baby, but you got to make money. That's just how it works. May, you understand this, right? I'm gonna tell you something. So now that your papa ain't paying for you no more, you gotta find a way to make money. And I have a couple options lined up. You can either make one of them YouTube channels, you can help with a Keel stream, or you can do OnlyFans. It's up to you. And now May is like desperately trying to avoid being thumbed and put up on OnlyFans, or being left abandoned in the streets of Mexico. So she's trying to figure out something that she can do to make money. And this was her best idea so far. And now, I wish her luck in her endeavors. The least funny, least interesting person to ever live, having to make money through entertainment avenues. Okay. So this is the hollering. We'll listen to a couple minutes of it.
Fucking nasty pussy flaps.
Oh yeah. I kind of feel like
I'm Howard Stern. You're not gonna fucking get prurient with me. Okay, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. Now listen, you're gonna listen to me. And so you wanted to get nasty, you wanted to get dirty. Let's get nasty. Let's get
This is in response to the question, have you seen the sex tape, to May, by the way. He immediately cuts her off and tells her not to talk. She tries to interject because she's the one, you know, who's supposed to be getting interviewed. And he basically says, bitch, shut up.
Get dirty.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so what would you like to ask?
How many times have you spread your fucking nasty pussy flaps online?
And I started like 5 minutes in. The reason why is he asked this question over and over again. I saw this live. He just kept saying the same thing over and over again. So, like, again, a woman offends him, so that's like his thing is just like becoming like fucking vulgar and grotesque immediately. He really gets pissed off about that.
I've never done that.
I don't believe that. You never shown your pussy online. You've never shown your fucking pussy online. You asked about, you know what you asked about? You asked if she had seen the sex tape of the mother of my other child. Do you know who you're talking to? Do you think I was going to let you off light with the way you talked to the fucking mother of my other child, my wife, who I just got married to the other day? Bitch, you don't know who the fuck you're talking to. How many times have you spread your fucking nasty fucking pussy online?
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you meant.
Sorry, I was muted again. Look at May. Look at May as she's just sitting there, and keep in mind the baby is like not to be found. I don't know. She says I think she's asleep. She doesn't really know. The baby has been left to fend for herself as May is sitting here being interviewed. And as Ralph has now told her to shut up, but she hasn't been excused to go check on the baby again. She's just gonna sit there and like zone out of her own life. So as this is going on, I imagine that this is what May's head sounds like. This is the inside of May's brain. Just ambient brown noise. She's just off. She's in standby mode. But let's continue, chat.
What, they paid $3? They paid $3? Is that what they pay for your nasty pussy? Do you read a question and insult me? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm telling you right now. I already told you before the show I wasn't getting into this. Fuck you. I got the DMs. Are you saying that didn't happen?
I can't ask you one question.
Are you saying that didn't happen?
What?
That I didn't say, like we weren't going into all this.
A softball interview.
No, I'm fine with going into it. Like, but if we're gonna go into it, let's go into it.
Okay, then let's go into it.
Okay, let's go into it. How many times have you shown your nasty pussy all around this internet?
Do you have any other questions for me?
Well, I mean, do you have a number? You said one.
What do you even call this tactic? What do you imagine you're talking to a guy, right?
Are you gonna revise that?
Like, that wasn't me pausing, by the way. That was just dead silence as she's just like, why am I talking to this bloviating pig monster? Like, you're talking to a guy, you get into an argument, and he asks you a question, and you just say, how many dicks you sucked then? How many dicks you sucked? How many cocks you put in your mouth and sucked, boy? How many dicks you suck? Just like, can we like, what the fuck? What do you call this? What is this tactic? What genius deflection is this? Deflection? Okay, I really don't know what to fucking say about that. He goes on and on. It never stops.
I'm gonna stick with one.
I'm gonna stick with, you know, maybe I'll do the same thing that you didn't say. I don't think that's any of your business. So.
Oh, well, you damn sure thought it was your business when you asked me that fucking question, bitch.
She just asked that. What I said. She just asked him how many dicks you sucked. You got some pretty dick sucking lips, boy. How many dicks you sucked? I don't buy it for a second. You never sucked no dick, boy. I can tell by looking at you that those puckered up little pig lips of yours have been wrapped around 50 cocks at least. Just keep saying that. See how long it takes for him to chimp out. But she's like too nice. She's too nice to do something like that.
You know, some shit in the 8th grade science class. I was running this shit. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but it ain't me. So do you have another question, or
is that why you said that you viewed me like a protege the other day?
Well, yeah, till you tried to sandbag me here on this air.
Kind of boring. I watched this live.
There's video evidence of me fucking on tape. What kind of question is that? Do you think you're Piers Morgan? Bitch, you're not.
I mean, it's just hell.
It's just low down. And look, I don't give a fuck. Like, I said all I needed to say about it. But yeah, that's tacky, as my grandma would say. Very tacky.
As opposed to screaming about pussy lips for 10 minutes. After this, by the way, because Ethan Ralph is surrounded by the Nick Fuentes retards, her channel immediately gets struck for community guidelines and deleted. So, for pissing off one of the Nick Fuentes, currently the inner circle of the Nick Fuentes scheme, they've just reported her for God knows what. The gayest shit ever. The gayest fucking people ever. I think Nick Fuentes and all his fans could just like die. And I think nothing would happen. Well, who if Nick Fuentes and everyone like in this circle die, just dropped dead, got Waco'd in some kind of compound, what would happen? Who would we miss? Who would be good in that group of people that died? A single person? Can we name someone? Can we name someone that we like in this? Kanye? Beardson. Oh, that's a joke. Good jokes. The lulz. Kai. Beardson. Baked. Baked's going to jail. Who you people really like Baked? Is that like a meme or Beardson? That's like feels like a meme. I feel like only Ralph dying in the Waco compound would be missed. I would miss Bibble. Cross-dressing Pike named Trish. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who most of these people are. Alice? Why would you feel bad for? Who would care about Alice? Jesus, people, find other people to like. If you would genuinely miss Baked Alaska, Beardson, or Alice, you've got issues. You need to go broaden your horizon a little bit. You're steeped a little bit too deep in this shit. Retarded people. I mean, I like when Ralph does his streams, I'll look at the chat and it's just like there's nothing going on. There's usually like 2 or 3 people spamming a sticker over and over again, and maybe like a couple mods chiming in occasionally, but it's so slow. It's less than like a message per second. It's like 1 message every 5 seconds or so. When you discount stickers, it's like 10 seconds between meaningful input. Is Gucci's Nick Fuentes? I don't think so. So I think I've reached the end of my notes. This is the time where I ask my chat. Did I miss anything? Should I cover anything else? Someone mentioned people I didn't know at the beginning. I'm not gonna look into that for this. Yes, Worski. Okay, Aiden, who the fuck is Eliza Blue? What is this? This is like the second person to mention Eliza Blue. Social media has begun banning people for screenshots of YouTube. Twitter backs human trafficking advocate Eliza Blue despite evidence of deception. Child trafficking grifter Eliza Blue in her collapsing house of cards. I don't know what this is. It's a short-haired lady. And apparently she's the child sex trafficker. She's a cam girl. Oh. I mean, dude, that's why I say I don't have like any kind of feelings. I don't feel bad because I understand that there are some women in like porn and who are whores who are like sex trafficking victims. But then, you know, so many of them also engage in sex trafficking. And they like I hate whores. I do. And that's like, you know, it's I don't feel bad for any of them. She has a human trafficking survivor, he says. That's pretty fucked up. That's like those madams who run like a whorehouse themselves, but she's like a sex trafficker. I don't know who PV is. The only update on the Ricada drama is that Drexel is in the Discord chat for his streams, acting extremely fucking gross. And I can't even comment on it because I would just get banned for YouTube. Let me just read some of the things that he said. I need to figure out a good way to say, like, I don't have like a black person voice because his voice is very deep and my voice doesn't go that deep. It just goes like, I don't hide shit, and unlike 99% of people in this server, I show my face and state my real name. Anyone not on that level is just all take and hand lotion. I hope internet anonymity goes away so we'll see how much shit anyone talks. Refer to troll Charlie Zelenoff running his mouth to then heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder. So he doesn't like... This is Drexel in Discord chat. He's talking about how he doesn't like anonymity, even though that's a constitutional right, and anonymity has been enshrined as a First Amendment pillar since Thomas Paine published Common Sense in the 1700s, because he published that pamphlet anonymously, and it was a landmark literary achievement that persuaded a ton of people into wanting to be independent and to have a liberal society that made the strongest empire the earth has ever seen. He did that anonymously, which is why we generally protect anonymity as a First Amendment right. You would know that if he wasn't, one of them, if you know what I mean. By the way, someone left a comment on my last stream. This person had been subscribed to me for 2 years, according to a little badge on their profile. I'll read it. I posted the screenshot somewhere. Shout out to VBLEGH1 exclamation point, subscriber for 2 years. Comment of the day: is he legitimately racist now? It's not a very funny bit. So I'm in my racism bit for this stream, which apparently pisses off some people. That is what I was reading was from Drexel. He continues. The talking about Nick and myself while we make money and live life. Yeah, Major L. Tell me all the legal women you cherish and I'll nut all over them. Be a good boy and eat some black bull cum. I'm getting back to my workout. I'm getting ready to make more money. I hope all is well with you, Elb. They're all the fucking same. This is why I don't take, I can't find that kill yourself mang guy. I just can't find them funny, because be a good boy and eat some black bull cum. It's just like you talk to a black person and it's just my dick, my dick, my dick, every fucking time. Someone linked me this song, by the way, and it's a song by the Melanated People. Ooh, I can't find it now. Wait. No, that's not it. But it's like kind of like the Pink Guys racist song "White Is Right," where it just goes but it's sung by black people. So instead of just being a song about racism, at the end it's just like, I'm white and I'm jealous of BBC. And black people have such big penises that I am very envious of. Did I mention the BBC? And that's just how this, the song was funny at first, and then it just deteriorates into that. It's like they're all the fucking same, every single one of them. It's extremely it's like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to live next to you. I want you far away from me. So that's the Ricada update. Drexel is also being a fucking retard. He's catching a lot of flack because he told this awesome story, which totally wasn't made up and totally isn't from a porn, where he was friends with this woman that he was fucking for a long time, and she had a daughter that was a teenager. And then the second that she turns 18, he fucks her daughter, and her mother gets upset because, this black guy that she's been seeing fucks her daughter. Which I think there's an expression that is shared around in racist circles about predicaments like this. But he's bragging about this, and I'm thinking that's quintessential grooming. That's the actual definition of grooming. Especially because you know how when they say children who get molested, they get molested by someone they know, that is almost always the stepfather. So when you have a stepfather situation and then you fuck her, even if she's legal, technically, that's really creepy and gross, and most people don't condone that kind of thing. But then he's just like, my dick, BBC, my dick. And he's relaying this story to Nick Ricada's audience as if it's this huge win. I'm just like, oh, okay. But I don't know, I've never liked Drexel, I'll be honest with you. Because I'm a knower. I'm a knower of things that people are not allowed to know, and I just know. You just look at them and you think, oh, I know what kind of person this is, and then you're right because you know things. And that's my racism bit for today. Anything else that I should cover? Explain TND? I don't know what that is. I don't know Cryax, bro. What the fuck did Worski do? Nobody has sent me anything related to Worski. I'm gonna ask the Kiwi Farms chat. Oh, the server's down, of course. Sorry, I've been trying to desperately to try and stabilize the site. And it's like every day I have to reboot shit, and it's the most annoying fucking goddamn thing on the face of the planet. Hold up, let me fix this, and then you can yell at me what you think. Alright. Now yell at me. TND. I don't know. What the fuck is TND? Oh. Oh! Okay. Yes, I see chats doing their patent pending racism bit. I disapprove. Weight loss update. I gained weight over Christmas. I haven't weighed myself in a while. I should be losing weight again. Worski went on Ralph last night. 20-minute clip was in the kill stream thread. Read chat. Okay. I don't know. Nobody clipped anything about Worski. I apologize. I don't know who Justin Rowland is either. You really have to, if you really want me to patch update, you should have your patch. If you you should check to make, okay, listen. Wait, do not send me an email if you haven't gotten your patch. I've been getting emails saying, where's my patch? There were 1,000 made, 1,000 sets sold. I've received over 1,500 orders. I have capped off the sales at 1,750. Actually, at 1,700 with 50 spare extra. Chances are, if you've not gotten your patch, you're in that group. You can email, and I'm going to send out an email either this weekend, letting those people who are on back order know that they're on back order. The patches will start getting made again in the first week of February. So you may have to wait until March, as is the case. When you buy from my merchandise shit, it's all made to order, usually. So apologies if that wasn't made extremely clear, but I will contact people who reached out. Pfizer shit. Project Veritas did a thing where they got a date arranged with the black guy, and the black guy was like, shit, man, we in there engineering viruses and shit. I ain't supposed to tell no one, but that's what we're doing and shit, man. Big snood, Papa Babo Gum. And then the guy comes in and is like, hello, would you like to talk about why, you're engineering viruses? And he said, I made it all up. I made it all up to get pussy. I made it all up. And then he physically assaulted the cameraman and then ooked out and then swung from a jungle vine out of the coffee shop that he was at. And that's the Project Veritas update. And I'm not joking. That's literally what happened. Word for word. Okay, I'm done. Your requests for updates suck. I will now read the super chats. We are officially in shill mode. I always appreciate people who stick through this. However, remember, I have a special super song that I like a lot that you'll never hear anywhere else. Never, ever. So stay tuned through the shilling. As I try to make an honest dollar as a meager farmer. Okay, Anonymous for 2 says, this week's Chinese word of the day is Ren Yao, a noun meaning man-made disaster, the literal translation being human monster. Can you guess what people of gender this may be referring to? I assume that Ren Yao, Ren just means person, Yao I think just means monster, so it literally human monster. I can only imagine what people of gender he's referring to, though. Thank you. Transcend the Infinite for 1090 says, Orican, last week, did you say you'd outlast me? Laughs and copy/paste. Also, don't simp for any more e-girls. I have literally no clue what this means. I will reread it because it's a $10 donation, and I feel bad not having anything to say. Transcend the Infinite for 1090 says, Orican, last week, did you say you'd outlast me? Laughs and copy paste. Also, don't simp any more e-girls. I don't know what e-girls he's talking about. I don't know what laughs and copy paste means. I don't know who the fuck Orican is, and I don't know what Trans in the Infinite is. If this is some kind of meta joke, I have no fucking idea. Oh, it's a 40. I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k. Why the fuck would you expect me to get this? Wilbur Watelli for 2180 says music you might listen or like Trouble Men by Electric Guest, Control by Broken Bells, Heavenly by Cigarettes After Sex. Great bands. Their greatest hits are brilliant. Okay, I will check that out. I'll put that little note for Jimerold for 3 says Cobson will always be a gym and on Gelselig is shardy culture. I don't know what the fuck that means either. I think Cobson is the name of the soy jack that they use for Redditors. He's got like the round face, and I don't know what an Ongetselig is. Haramburger for 2 says, no, there's a Chinese New Year. Take a look at my gender special calendar of events for 2023 on the farms. Also, thanks for the increased character count, nerd. My dude, I'm not reading all this. He sent me like, oh, this is a list of, okay, I know what this is. I'll show people. He's put together a list of every LGBTQ day for the entire year. So keep in mind, if you want to celebrate LGBT, it starts on the 17th of January. UK LGBT history is all of February. The special days in February. Bisexual Health Awareness Month, because, you know, they get AIDS and monkeypox and shit, and then give it to... If you want to know how straight women get AIDS and monkeypox, they get it by bisexual men. So Bisexual Health Awareness Month, all of March. More all of June, some days in July, 1 day in August. So August is the straightest month of the year, according to this chart. And that's only Gay Uncle Day. I don't know what the fuck that means. It's only a social media campaign. August is our month, boys. August is our month. October, all of November for Trans Awareness Month. And then December appears to be mostly holy, except for Pansexual Pride Day on the 8th and World AIDS Day on the 1st. There you go. Augustus Holding, that's right. Anonymous for 5 says, what will you do with your YouTube play button if you get one? They're not actually silver. I've looked this up. They used to be real silver. However, now they are gold and silver plated. So if you get a YouTube play button that's silver, it's hollow, number 1. Number 2, it is nickel plated in silver. Fucking garbage. I would not even sell that on eBay. Anonymous for Broomer for 545 says a circle of protection on the farm, so mote it be in the witch's circle. TMDW tubes. Oh, praise Cobra's magic. Thank you very much, Broomer. Baldo Faggins for 5 says Nickercada sub farm went. Yeah, right. He kind of the only other Nickercada drama is that he had an interview with Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy from the Wakusha shooting, and Nick apparently didn't know going into the interview that he had a pending civil litigation for wrongful death. So obviously a lot of the stuff surrounding the shooting he can't talk about because it could injure his case in the civil suit. And that the fact that Nick didn't know that really is like, that's like basic. How do you not? You should know what kind of, that kind of stuff before talking to the guy. But then that also threw off almost all of his questions, because a lot of his questions were oriented around the shooting, which he can't talk about because he's in civil litigation. And then he read super chats about, like, the Fuda. He liked Fuda without balls or whatever. And Cal didn't even know what a Fuda is. So Nick had to explain to him what a Fuda is. And he's just like, ew, that's gross. Like a normal person would be. And it was kind of awkward. Kenneshaw, sorry. Akusha was something else. Sad Poor Orphan for $50 says, sorry, these are the last shekels I have because I'm paying for funeral costs for all my loved ones and pets. Please send thoughts and prayers. F in the chat for all the loved ones and pets that this broke person has decided to cremate and put into cheap pine boxes so he can send me $50. Thank you very much. Question mark for 218 says, Danke, dass Sie heute wieder unsere Sprache gesprochen haben, Herr Mond. Which is Dutch, I'm pretty sure. Eat dirt, drink bleach for 5 says, what is your fasting protocol? And how much pizza do you eat? What are the benefits of fasting? Can I put a supreme medium pizza with extra cheese by myself? Happy pizza day, Jurish. So I don't fast anymore, but when I was super committed to all the people in chat, I didn't get that I was never mind. When I was very committed to losing weight, I fasted. I did alternate day fasting. I did not count calories on the days that I was not that I was eating. I counted 600 calories on the day that I was fasting, and I tried not to eat more than 3,000 the days that I was eating. So that would amount to about 1,800 each day, which is perfectly normal for losing weight passively. You can do that. Ultimately, it is just calories in, calories out. People who say otherwise are stupid. If you count calories and you're honest about your counting and you know your baseline metabolism, you will lose weight. And anyone who says otherwise is just wrong, and you should not listen to them. Demisk for 777 says, "Hey Josh, I'm looking for physical investment goods to trade with. Don't want stocks or crypto. Sadly, rare metals like Silverster have a 70% instant resale value. I think some wrist watches have good value, retain / growth. Any other recommendations?" Physical holdings are not like stocks. You do not have it's just not the same. If you're buying something like gold or silver, you should realize that it's not going to be a commodity that you can trade with or sell instantly without taking a huge loss. It's something to hold on to because you're materializing your wealth and it will retain its value against inflation. That's the whole point. I can't recommend anything for what you're trying to do. It's not silver watches are not the crypto get rich scheme of the 2020s. Sorry if you expected otherwise. Wolfgang for 5 says, "I got Professor Kaczynski's book. How much would we have to pay you to narrate it?" That's a good question. The main issue with narrating Ted Kaczynski's book is that he has multiple segments explicitly outlining violence and why violence is effective. And that's what makes basically his argument is that from birth and throughout our entire lives, we are hammered by left and right. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. We are hammered. And the one thing that the government enforces equitably for all people is that if you do anything violent, especially against government employees, you get punished for it. That's because the system is afraid of violence. That's his argument. So he argues that violence is extremely effective. And that's something that if you promote as an idea, you draw a lot of negative attention to yourself. So I'm not sure I could ever commit to reading Ted Kaczynski's book, because even though I do suggest it as a read because it is extremely interesting and a lot of the stuff he says about over-socialization is very prescient, to actually endorse those ideas or to narrate them would be really risky. I'm not sure I can deal with that right now. Thank you. The Buffalo Cube for 10 says, "Jersh, what is your favorite weight loss meal? Also, is it just me or is King Cobra JFS looking really ragged now and more case cooking being when?" I'm not doing case cooking. I already explained why. King Cobra is looking pretty fucking ragged. He's not taking care of himself, which is sad. I mean, you see how he eats, you know why he's not doing too well. As far as weight loss food, when I lost 70 pounds, I ate a lot of popcorn. I would make popcorn. I would use a very little bit amount of spray, just enough to make it sticky, and then put a salt on it, because that doesn't have any calories. So I would know exactly how much I'm eating. It was pretty filling because it's all fiber, and it's pretty tasty too because it's salt. Thank you though. Stinky Stanky pretend says, "I like when people pretend that communism would be accepting to loser goober buttholes and tacos." Anyways, any more news about Hogwarts Legacy? I'll be playing that when it comes out. I'll let people know when I'm going to. I'll play that for about 3 days before it comes out for everybody, but I'll play it during the pre-order period. And yes, Stalin would obviously completely exterminate everybody like David Muscat. Small Child Eater for 1 says, "Hey Josh, big fan of the show. On the topic of merch runs, would you ever consider getting a group of artists together to create some sort of unique physical release of the KF Comp album or something of that sort? Might be a cool community showcase as well. I've considered doing a Christmas album and getting people like MC Jarbo. Maybe there's a bunch of people who do music that I thought would be interesting for it, but that kind of stuff is a lot of work. And for whatever reason, December is always the worst possible month to try to get anything done because the site's usually having issues. No one important 818 for 5 says, hey, Jersh, who did start the Quickie Farms? Also, a date if you can. Did the name change to Kiwi Farms? You can Google this. The original founder was called Champtham, and if you type in the right term, you'll be able to find the post where we rebrand from Quickie Farms to Kiwi Farms. But it was a couple years. I mean, it was like 2014, 2015. Susan Wajishkishki says for 10, and that's how it's spelled. It's not. People got pissed off. There's a guy that donates named Dainties Inferno, and that's literally how it's spelled. So I'm not doing that wrong still. That's just how he spells it. If Italian pizza delivery guy trips and falls with a pizza in hand, what sound does it make when they both hit the ground? Dago Wop. Oh, Dago Wop. Very funny. I got you. Also, congrats on keeping the site up for a decade. Well, if you take that out, all the downtime, we're probably about 6 months behind. A full 10 years at this point, but thank you very much. City Slicker for 10 says, Anita's got iDubbbz doing Shuck and Jive. Next, you'll have them sing a good old neighbor work song. If Anita did manage to get iDubbbz in a cotton field singing Swing Low, Sweet Valentine, that would completely redeem her in the eyes of myself in particular. The guy that submitted the Dago Wop meme did it twice for $20. So I will read this again. This is the exact same thing. But he did it twice. Susan Lajishkiki for 10 says, if an Italian pizza delivery guy trips and falls with a pizza in his hand, what sound does it make when they both hit the ground? Do you know, chat? Do you know the answer to this? They go wop. They go wop, chat. And he says, congrats for keeping the site up for a decade. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ziggy Piggy Neggy for 15 says the public reception to the Ukraine-Russian war has been troubling. They get so invested in the conflict that they know nothing about the history of, know so little about the people, yet they bay for blood. I think boredom and impotence in industrial society. It is absolutely the bloodlust of the impotent, over-socialized man begging for something to happen. We live in an era of Pax Americana where fucking nothing happens. We don't even have good wars anymore. People want to see people dying, women being raped, children being blown apart by artillery shells. They'll never say this, but when it happens, they're all about it. They're gonna, they'll wring their hands and say, "Oh, the huge humanity, we must do something about this evil Putin." But to actually feel stirring in their souls, their very souls, for a cause that has life or death consequences and the fate of nations at hand, it's so exciting that the cattle, the neighbor cattle, just can't help themselves. They can barely contain their bloodlust. It is literally bread and circuses. But there's a quote by some guy with a mustache, something about how the spirit of mankind longs for violence. And actually, no, that wasn't Mustache Man. That was the Physics Man. It's from Industrial Society in its Future that he says that people have a naturally violent side and they need it satiated every so often. And they currently do so with placebos, but in the heart of all men is a violent streak. I'm pretty sure. It could be both, to be fair. It might be both. I'm not sure. Pope Urban for 4 says, can you please explain Sneed? I don't get it. Okay, so 20 years ago, there was a show called The Simpsons, and they aired a sketch where Homer Simpson decides to go, he inherits a plot of land, and I've never actually seen this episode. I'm just going by what I know. He inherits a plot of land, and he decides that he's going to grow agriculture on it. So he heads to a little store out in the sticks called Sneed's Feed and Seed, where he is greeted by Chuck, actually. And Chuck is the former owner, because it says so on the sign. It says formerly Chuck's. Now, this sign went unnoticed by almost everybody, but someone deduced 20 years later that if you follow the alliteration at play and replaced the "eed" in Sneed's Feed and Seed with the "uck" in Chuck, you get Chuck Suck and Fuck, which is very different from Sneed's Feed and Seed. This joke was so inspired, so subtle, so hilarious that it cause an entire community of people to lose their fucking minds and start making sneeze jokes constantly until the moderators of TV on 4chan committed suicide en masse, and it's just sort of stuck around ever since. I'm glad. Thanks for asking, Pope Urban. Ludwig for 5 says, I made a 4-second video of my favorite Jack Scalfani moment. I don't trust this. I'm gonna see. Okay. I'll play it. Get ready.
A little bit of salt. A little bit of salt.
He is preparing a turkey, and he says a little bit of salt. And then because he is a clumsy seizure man with clumsy hands, he just throws it on the fucking tray. He completely misses the giant ass turkey. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. That is a 0% salt contact with that turkey. Very good, thank you. Roxanne Wolf for 10 says absolutely nothing. They might set out the Kennel Club, but unfortunately chat died during my stream because chat's a piece of shit, and I'm so fucking done with rebooting my goddamn database cluster over and over fucking again. Burger Mutt for 2 says George looking at Professor Edward Dutton on YouTube and maybe read one of his books. He discussed evolutionary psychology, and his stuff fits like a puzzle piece with the works of Ted Kaczynski. I recommend watching Prison Works or What Kind of Women Get Abortions. Interesting YouTube titles. I might look into that. Thank you. Anonymous for 1 says, me, a port fag, donating $1 to Joshua Null Moon being the internet with a capital I. He's awesome and he'll read my super chat. Thank you, Anonymous. I did read your super chat. I appreciate it. Let me sit on your face, Josh, for 5. It says, missed a couple of live streams. I wanted to tell you happy belated birthday and Christmas, and may you find a big booty Latina in 2023. Sir, you know that how my commitments are, and that is not in the cards for me. Thank you for the $5, though. City Slicker for 5 says, inability to identify dementia in the elderly is why we get recipes like party cheese salad. It's a very sad take on Jack Scalfani's party cheese salad. I wouldn't wish dementia on anyone except Vordrak, who will get dementia, and it'll be very funny when he shits himself alone in a daycare center until he's dead. Anonymous for 1 says, you're thinking of Zolch, or Zolch, i.e. bile, different but similar and related to zloty. It's also an incredible word because it's all Polish accented characters. No, I'm thinking of the word for yellow because I was told that the word for yellow is the same as something gross like bile. But yeah, they're pretty similar because I guarantee you Zolch is from Zlotny, so that's what's going on there. Thank you though. Boomer for 545 says about the internet, lowercase I internet. How in God's fucking name do we save it? Decentralized services mostly. Web torrents still work. VPNs are still work. We're gonna have to. I mean, I was asking for what a based alternative to the EFF is, and nobody had any suggestions. So I don't know. Maybe my destiny is to remake the EFF in my own image. And then fucking save the lowercase I internet. Bronstein for 545 says, happy Holocaust Remembrance Day, Jewish, never forget the 6 million. There's no fucking way. January 27th, happy Holocaust Remembrance Day, never forget chat the 6 million. Metacrimascus for $20 says, my cat, Mr. Mittens, wants to know if you've ever had any pets. If so, he wants to hear a story about them. Also, Mr. Mittens is dying of lung cancer. Please thank him for his service. Thank you, Mr. Mittens, for your service. As far as me ever having pets, I've had several cats. My mom had different cats throughout our life. We always had Scott, who lived for a very long time. He unfortunately died in the house fire that my mom's retarded ex-boyfriend started. Very sad because that cat had traveled across the country twice and lived to like 14. He died of monoxide inhalation. I like Scott quite a bit. We had bad luck with black cats because they would like to lie in the asphalt because it was warm and they're black. So we lost one cat to a car accident. We lost the other cat to, I think, feline leukemia. And then the fourth one, I think my mom's ex-boyfriend poisoned. I think that's what her theory was, because it died suddenly, like a COVID vaccine. I can't say that on YouTube. It died suddenly, which also sucked. So I have bad luck with cats, and I've never had a dog. One day I would like to have a dog. Sorry for my not so fun stories about my cats. My favorite cat was probably Stewie. Stewie had a crooked mustache, and for whatever, he smelled like corn chips. If you held him to your face and you rubbed your nose into his fur, he smelled exactly like a big bowl of tortilla chips, and it was quite delicious. And for whatever reason, we invented a background for him. He was a Portuguese sailor. He was like Christopher Columbus, and we just always called him Stewie the Portuguese sailor. Mr. Whatevers for $1 says, if you want a great Jack video, watch this. This is the one where he basically tries to kill himself with salmonella. I think we watched that one before. It's he doesn't cook his chicken all the way through. I'm not in the mood to watch any more of Jack's cooking. I don't know if I can stomach it, but thank you. Yadik for 10 says, many thanks to playing the party cheese salad. Goy zlotny. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Striga for 2 says, I'm your Polish consulate from now on. You've mistaken the word yellow with a word żugi, which means vomit. You were close enough. I was told by a Polish person who has a dog as his avatar, so he's very reliable, that it's the word for yellow, which means like bile. I guess I just confused bile with vomit, but I understand now. Hacks late for 5 says, thoughts on Tier Nichols, black guy getting killed by 5 black cops, blue checkmark, still blame white supremacy, and dumpster defendant trial results. Oh, the dumpster defenders. Texas dumpster defender trial results. What was the name of the dumpster defenders? I'm gonna look this up. I doubt it. What's their name? Take your swing. Yeah, I doubt it. It's that. It's like, what's the name of... You won't be happy? Did they get convicted? Texas self-defense Abilene trial results. Verdict: Michael Miller was found not guilty. Johnny Miller was found not guilty. Well, my thoughts are that's incredibly fucking based and red-pilled, and I'm really happy that we're seeing these victories for self-defense cases in the United States. It gives me a lot of hope. I doubt it. Arkak. Take that again. Arkan Chernoy, for 1, says, take me rubles, Mrs. Luna. I don't know why you're calling me Mrs. Luna. That makes me uncomfortable. Stop sexually harassing me. Thank you, though. 1, 2, 3 for 5 says, might have missed this, but why was Jonathan Yanev removed from the front page of Kiwi Farms? It's because his board is completely dead. You can still find his thread in Stink Ditch. Anonymous for 10 says, been watching for 2 years. Keep up the content. Appreciate it. Hopefully you don't find my racism bit too offensive. Moose Buyers for 10 says, caught you live after 1,000 years. You're a real one, king. Keep up the good work. Question, what was your favorite game of 2022? I don't think I played any games. Or, I mean, not any games that came out in 2022, I don't think. I liked Victoria 3 quite a bit. I got a bunch of hours out of that, but I'm waiting. It's the paradox symptom of me waiting for the 3rd update before it's any good. I read it wrong. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. This dude is spamming, begging me to say that I read the wrong what? Abilene, Texas shooting update. Is this not the right one? No, this is the right one. It's the fucking photos of the guys. Oh, I read Johnny Miller was found guilty. Okay, so one of them was found guilty. That's fucked up. My bad. I did read it wrong. Okay. The dad was guilty. He wasn't. Was he the one that shot? They both had guns, right? Why was the dad found guilty but the son wasn't? Junior is free. That's fucked up. It feels like it's identical. How was the dad guilty? Did he? Because he didn't have a gun. Oh, he did have a gun. The dad was provoking him. That might get turned on appeal. So that's bullshit. If they found the son not guilty, then the dad should be not guilty too. Oh, fuck. That dude was a screaming lunatic. There's not a chance in hell I would find either one of them guilty. Small Kitten for 5 says, what was your most memorable Dota 2 experience? Meow meow. Oh, geez. Okay. One that sticks out is in the early days of Dota, because they ported the game over from Warcraft 3 basically untouched. So a lot of the griefing that you could do in Warcraft, you could also do in Dota. And a lot of people who play Dota were never around for this, but you could also delete. Oh, is my stream dead again? No, my stream is fine. Everyone just sucks. You could delete your allies' items by taking them off the courier and dropping them. So I had always been told by someone when I played Blockland that Estonians are the worst people ever. And I had never met an Estonian. At the time, I didn't even know where Estonia was. And I had been told during the beta, because I played during the open beta of Dota. Actually, the closed beta where you had to like buy it, like an invite to play it. That this glitch existed, and a lot of people complained about it on the forums for Dota. And I was like, I've never seen anyone exploit this thing where you can delete your allies' items off the courier. And the first person I ever saw after hundreds of games do this was some guy from Estonia who was just like a total dickbag and ruined the whole game. And that was my first interaction with Estonians. And I thought, wow, Estonians are really shitty people. Fuck Estonia. That stands out as particularly memorable. No, I don't know if that would be my like favorite memory from Dota. Just sort of like, yeah. Eat Dirt, Drink Blades for 5 says, where would you rather live? The United States of California, the Afro-Eurasia Ultimate England Kingdom, or an Amazon lunchtime pod on Mars? None of those sound particularly appealing. They all sound exactly... I mean, we're probably not going to get raped in the pod, but maybe you can. I don't know. I'm assuming that there's rapes that happen on Amazon. I would stick with the good old US of C because that's what I know. Banana Hammock for 5 says, fuck you, Josh. I bought Satisfactory a few days ago when it went on sale, and I've been sleep deprived ever since. I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Though, I mean, what happened with me is I got to a point where I got too annoyed at how the updates kept making me fuck around with all my builds. I'm just like, I can't be asked to redo all of this shit and manually move over all these inventories of garbage and shit. It's like, fuck this. Paul for 545 says, Jack Selfani thread has some of the best writing on the forum. I genuinely hope he pulls through. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad that you want someone to survive, maybe in a disabled condition, so that you can continue to bully him on the internet. Yolet fan for 8173 says, I know you are normally against anime, but are there any that you've seen you enjoy? Berserk is genuinely great. Oh, Berserk, the one with the rape, with the horse that rapes people, right? The rape horse. The most memorable thing about Berserk to me is that Gator had no issue calling me a pedophile for like 5 years. And then when Ralph called the artist who drew like Lolicon, who also drew the Berserk novel, a pedophile because he drew little kids getting fucked by horses, Gator had a sudden epiphany that calling people a pedophile is pretty egregious unless you have a lot of evidence. And he apologized to me only because of that. That's my mental association with Berserk. I've never watched it, but I know about the horse rape and the lolicon. That I've actually liked. I mean, I don't know if I can say I like it, but Watamote is designed to make you cringe. And it is extremely effective at it. It is one of the most like intensely cringe things I've ever watched. So I mean, just as sort of like a general, like it definitely accomplished what it set out to do. Wanamote is like pretty fucking hard. I remember having to pause it constantly to get through it. It's just like, damn, that's fucking intense. Elfin Lied. I did watch Elfin Lied. I can't remember why. Oh, because I liked the music for it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll watch this. There's a part of Elfin Lied. The only part that I can remember, she's like a magical girl that kills people or something. It's all bullshit. The only part of Elfin Lied is it's extremely emotionally manipulative. There's a part where a puppy is like beaten to death with baseball bats. And this is like her tragic background that makes her like a murderer. I don't know if I can say I enjoy that though. It was pretty intense and I think it made me cry, but I like the intro music. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about anime. Anonymous for 2 says, have you ever seen Michael Huelesque sex tape trailer from Kerouac, the French guy that wrote Submission Bangs Dutch Art Hose? Absolutely nothing about this makes any sense to me or is interesting to me. I do not want to see some French pervert, probably Jewish pervert, fuck mentally ill women. I apologize. I don't know what a Kerouac is. Thank you. Jenny I for 2 says, I'm imagining in my head the 50-year-old Troon father is just standing there in the doorway, T-posing, asserting dominance against the failure of the son's personal space. If that man had any such audacity in him, he would not have raised such a failure to begin with. Destitute and Genitalia for $20. I think says Gongshi Fakai. Pretty sure that's what that is. Let me check. I actually wrote Gongshi Fakai on a note, so I should be able to recognize it. No, it's not. I'm completely wrong. Let me translate this real quick. You did pay me $20. Oh, Happy Year of the Rabbit. So I got half the characters right, I think. Artunian. Okay, whatever. Thank you. I appreciate it. How do you feel about the Dota hero Pugna? Oblivion? Oblivion's his Warcraft name. I don't have strong feelings to him. He's not like, he's a very basic hero. He has a decent kit. He can be a good support. He can be pretty menacing on the enemy team. I think Pugna's extremely balanced. He's a pretty solid character. He doesn't irritate the fuck out of me like someone like Witch Doctor does, and he's not like overpowered or underpowered. So I like Pugna. I'm not going to be upset if someone picks a Pugna on the game on either team. Good hero. Harriet Tubman's titty fuck surprise for 5 says, oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. Thank you, Harriet Tubman. I appreciate it. Mr. Man for 2180 says, I tried hollandaise slop on my pizza. Great for a single slice, but it's like a caricature of cuisine more suitable for hors d'oeuvres. It's all right. I look forward to the next Fuck You Mom podcast. Today's show. It was a nice show. I'm surprised that people are actually trying it. It's pretty tasty. As long as it's done right. It's definitely, I think it's like a Danish thing. The hollandaise on pizza. Their pizzas are fucked up. They put salad. They put like iceberg lettuce on pizza. Danish people are fucking crazy. I do like hollandaise sauce though. Thank you though. Warhammer 40k quote of the week for 5 says, necessity overcomes morality, never without regret, never without shame, yet even a moral victory must outweigh moral defeat. The victor will have a chance to atone if conscience demands. The vanquished lose any such opportunity. From Rabute Gilliman. Thank you. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I appreciate it. Burger Mutt for 1 says, Edward Dutton's book, Spiteful Mutants, is about how the post-industrial revolution people in the West, due to his lack of harsh Darwinian conditions, have developed spiteful mutations, like hating their own people and cultures. I actually disagree that we don't live in a Darwinian society. I think that people are obviously, I think like trannies and those guys and abortions and men who prioritize shit like having a permanent bachelor lifestyle, jerking off to porn and prioritizing Funko Pops. I think that shit is actually Darwinian. And I think that we think that we've beaten Darwinism is part of the hubris that's rebuilding Darwin. It's nature finds a way. Metacritic Vodka for 1 says, Dylan Mulvaney looks like Caitlyn Jenner now. Lamau. I think he looks like Michael Jackson, but I guess that's an insult to the king of pop. Nostalgic for IBS, for one, says, I was listening to some 2018 streams. Apparently, you have been on a stream with Jim before. I guess you forgot. You, Ralph, Jim, Gator, Zidane, Harmful Opinions. You asked if any of them agreed Jarbo should have owned the flaggetry. Ralph sounded coherent. I've never been on a stream with only Jim. I've been on a stream with Jim before in the big, one of the heel streams, I think. And then I was also on Jim when I was talking to V. Sargon of Akkad. Jim also got on that one. But I've never, before that last stream, I'd never spoken to him one-on-one before. Anonymous for 5 says, Native Americans are as ugly as Indians, but have the reputation of blacks. I've never met a Native in my life, so I can't actually opine on what I think. I have strong opinions about Aborigines. If you show like a black person an Aborigine, they're gonna have some negative things to say about that. I don't know. I can't say this on YouTube, but you look at like, I don't know. You look at like a fish, and then you look at like a shitty fish. You think those fish are related, but the bigger fish that's not so shitty is a different kind of fish than the shitty fish. That sums up my opinion, basically. Danny After 5 says, I'm generally curious how the hell Gunt still has money to piss away given every stupid decision he made at this point. He's truly turning into the late low-tax or hobo adult Eric Cartman from the recent South Park special where they're adults in the future. He still gets super chats. He got Nick Fuentes. He's got Nick Fuentes' Midas touch keeping him afloat. Though I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. I can't see his finances. He can only make guesses about how much money he actually keeps and stuff and how much he spends on drinking, but I imagine it'll come to a head eventually. Numbers for 2 says, if God fucking forbid May did, sorry, I didn't, to that fucking weirdo Serbian guy who comments on every fucking stream telling me not to say the Lord's name, asking me kindly with a please not to say the Lord's name in vain, I apologize. I think I just caught myself for the first time. I don't think I say it that often. I don't think I say it every stream, but he always comments saying that. I don't think I usually do. So I don't know where it's coming from. But this time it's a super chat. And I read it, so I'm cognizant of the fact that I said it. If G-D fucking forbid May did OnlyFans content and post nudes, wouldn't that count as bestiality zoophilia content? It certainly would not be something I ever want to see in my entire fucking life. Rungle Pepino Spaghetti for 545 says, play Pizza Tower, it's pretty good. I don't know what that is. Is that a video game? Pizza Tower on Steam. Apparently a business joint in England, too, the Pizza Tower. Not to be confused with the Tower of Terror. Apparently this is overwhelmingly positive. Pizza Tower is a fast-paced 2D platformer inspired by Warrior Land series. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I want to pay $20 for Pizza Land. Maybe I will, though, if I'm extremely drunk one day or something. Rdrama.net for 5 says, for dropping the Bard pill on your viewers, love Rdrama. Yeah, Rdrama pays a lot more attention to the Reddit shit. Bardfin is one of their favorites because he is particularly disgusting, and more importantly, he's very influential at Reddit. And people try to bring up to him, like, hey, didn't you guys have like an actual pedophile as an admin on Reddit, and didn't that get exposed because of the Kiwi Farms? And he just deleted that reply because he has to cope, seethe, and dilate, literally. Curtis for 5 says, thanks, Church. Thank you. Nouns for 10 says, I fell in love with a cam girl. Someone shoot me in the head, please. Bro, just fucking turn off your computer. You gotta get over that shit. She will take every dollar and pretend to like you. If you try to like get closer to her, she will never, ever actually enter a relationship with you. It's just over. Stop watching cam girls. They make their money by emotionally manipulating retards. And right now you're a retard, my dude. Orican the Diviner for 5 says, Orican, you bastard, give me back the Mysterious. Unlike you, it doesn't not belong in a museum. I have literally no fucking idea. I think there are people who like conspire to have a theme of super chats every episode, and they like specifically choose things I can't comprehend. Baldo Faggins for 5 says, so late April, early May on the Ricada something. I don't know. Take your bets, my dude. Dainty's Inferno for $100 says Jer, smash or pass on Cecil McFly. I have nothing against Cecil, but I believe that Cecil is trans. I don't know if that's true, but my intuition says that it is. So that's a hard pass, my dude. But thank you for the $100 from Dainty's Inferno, who does spell his name like that, just to remind everybody. Anonymous for one says, "Hi Josh, when will be the next gaming stream, and what game will it be? Also, please consider playing Half-Life or Entropy Zero." I've never actually played Half-Life. A lot of people have wanted me to play Dead Space because it's apparently coming out for sale as a remaster on the weekend. But I don't know. The next stream will probably be the Harry Potter one. I'm just not in the mood to do video game streams right now. I apologize. Dainty's Inferno, spelled D-A-N-T-E, Dainty, for 15 says absolutely nothing. Thank you very much. Dainty's Inferno, spelled D-A-N-T-E, Dainty. Internet best friend for 545 says, I'm a poor Skid Row citizen who lives as a homeless and watched the stream through a kiosk and need financial help. Can I have career advice to become a successful farm business? Also, my goldfish drowned today. Can I get some prayers? Jokes aside, have fun and good luck. Okay, for the business, you need, for financial help, become a debt maxer. Find some social security numbers at your Skid Row trash cans and use that to take out credit cards. Debt max those cards at ATMs. Take those gains, those lawfully attained gains, put that into your alpaca business. Find an inhospitable patch of the Badlands in South Dakota. Completely ruin that agriculture, and then report your financial losses to the Federal Department of Agriculture. And just collect those subsidies from the government, and congratulations. You can take that money, you can go buy a house for $1 in Detroit, living the good life, my man. That's all a joke. Don't ever do that. You'll die. War Fed Center for 545 says, thoughts on Enoch Burke shit happening in Ireland. Oh my God. Let me tell you about how much I follow Irish news. Is Enoch Burke the guy that's like a mobster? Irish family known for repeated involvement in high-profile cases. Irish teacher refused to be fined. Each day court order is breached for refusing to use a child's preferred pronouns. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, Ireland and England. I really want to love Ireland. Ireland is such a beautiful country. It's a white country. People there talk funny, but they're Catholic. They're not Anglican, except in the shitty cities where they are Anglican, the ones that have betrayed their country and their people. But I mean, they have got the brain slugs really fucking bad, and it sucks. Near for 2 says, a little bit of salt, 2 shots of vodka.
2 shots of vodka?
Oh, okay. This is a meme. I know this. Oh, sorry. I copied the wrong thing.
Two shots of vodka.
That's more than 2 shots. I'm sure she knows exactly how much she needs though to get through the day. Cole for 10 says, hey Josh, a guy was organizing a Kiwi Farms physical magazine in response to Drop Kiwi Farms, and I was going to be one of the authors. Since you recovered the magazine became pointless, can I send the article, The Ethical Case for Doxing, to you to post? Post it yourself. Make an account. The registrations are open, dude. Just make an account and post it. You might get some negative feedback, but whatever. It'll help you grow as an aspiring author. Kolya Dante for 35 says, I once played in a sheet over voice chat and got an Arab dude in trouble because his mother heard it and thought he was talking to ISIS recruiters. My Ummah Dawn has appeared was the title, not the favorite one, but definitely one of the best. If you go to kiwifarms.net/ oh no, I don't have that directory anymore. Shit, sorry. I have a directory of nasheeds, and there's a couple real, like they're really good. The music's really good. There's God, Syria, and Bashar. That's really popular. There's a bunch of ones from, the one that makes really good ones is what's What's the one in Israel? Oh my god, I don't know how the fuck I forgot. Hezbollah makes really great music. Like there's that song, strike a blow at Tel Aviv, Uzra Buzra Tel Aviv. That song's a banger. There's a couple ones. They make good music, and it's really like primal. It strikes a masculine chord in your brain. Thank you though. Broomer for 545 says you'll get another 5 for even considering a new version of EFF. I fully support that. Accept my support there. You'll get on the Gum Road. Yeah, appreciate it. I'll have to really think that over. It's making a 501c3 is a really serious endeavor. It's ways down the road, a couple of years out, but I'm considering it because the EFF is not capable of doing what the EFF needs to be able to do because they're so afraid of being raped and murdered by trannies at this point. Anonymous for 5 says Justin Rowland is the Pickle Rick man. He is currently canceled for domestic abuse and also grooming. Yeah, I mean, they're all the same in Hollywood. I'm not surprised. I don't even know how people can pretend to be surprised. Like if it comes out of Hollywood, it's either rapes or it's been raped or it rapes and it has been raped. That's everybody. There's not a single person in Hollywood right now that has not forcibly been penetrated or penetrates or does both or helps facilitate it as a female sex trafficker. They're all gross fucking perverts. No exception, except Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is fine. Anonymous or Ice Mexican for 5 says the year is 2019, but you have the power of foresight to see everything that happens to blood sports community. So very narrowly what happens to blood sports in the next 4 years. How do you proceed with this esoteric knowledge? Oh boy. I'm assuming that what I do is not going to, I don't know. It depends on how my actions change the course of it. I would simply predict everything that's going to happen. I would vocally predict things. And then I would look like a fucking genius for knowing exactly what happens. And I would just simply bolster my reputation by cheating. Because what else am I going to do? Am I going to take out a life insurance policy on Ralph or something? I don't think I can. Look up Tom Hanks' son. Listen, I choose to be willfully ignorant to anything negative about Tom Hanks. I like his movies, and I don't care. I don't want to know. Don't ruin Tom Hanks for me. Shut up. Anonymous for 2 says, I promise you can stomach. It's 4 seconds long. This is my favorite Jack moment. Oh. It's the 4chan weapon, so I know it doesn't have sound. Okay, here we go. I've scanned it to make sure there's no gore. He's got some kind of grill machine on. He flipped it over. I think he's unplugging it now. Oh my god. He appears to have overfilled it and the latch popped open and an omelet or something exploded out of the grill press. So he's fucked that up a little bit. Very impressive. The man was truly a maverick. Anime for 5 says Wadamote turned into a Yuri. I give it a 0. No, it didn't. Not in the season that I watched. I don't know if they made a sequel or whatever, but she had the hots for a boy and tried to a famous guy and tried to flirt with him, but was really awkward. And that was one of the really, really awkward parts of the entire series was awkward, but I don't remember it being a Yuri. I don't remember anything pornographic about it. There was kind of an implied, she gets caught by she has a back massage wand and she gives herself a back massage and falls asleep. And it looks like she's masturbating when her dad walks in, but she's already asleep. And that's one of the, the entire thing is just super awkward, but it's not sexually charged at all, which is why I don't mind talking about it. But I think that's as close. I don't remember when it turned into I'm malding. Oh. I'm sorry, Cecil McFly, for saying that Wadamote wasn't a Yuri. I don't know what you expect from me, okay? I don't remember anything myself. Ruggy for 5 says, Hi, Ruggy. Thank you. Anonymous for 5 says, talk about FedNow. FedNow is an exciting new product by the Federal Reserve that's coming out in 2023 Q2. FedNow allows instantaneous transactions from individuals and corporations to one another between between institutions, so no middleman except the Federal Reserve. Every report, every transaction will be reported directly to the IRS and kept on record forever by the government. But it cuts out Stripe and Visa and MasterCard. What more could you ask for besides basic privacy? If they decide to cut you out, you can go to the courts about it because it's a government service, allegedly, because the Federal Reserve is a part of the government, allegedly. Isn't it exciting? I'm so fucking excited for FedNow. If any of you run a libertarian bank and intend to integrate into the FedNow, let me know. I can't fucking wait for FedNow. I kneel before you, Federal Reserve System. I can't wait to process bank payments again like a normal fucking person. FedNow. FedNow. Winston Fujimori for 5 says, where does your avatar of the cow wearing headphones on a human body come from? I think you once said on a Kata stream that it comes from some music album, but I forget. Shaky Graves, Roll the Bones. And the one I use for my video game channel is the like 10-year anniversary edition of that. Rabbi Herschel Lieberman Berg-Blattstein for 15 says, here's your weekly shekels from your greatest ally. Thank you, Rabbi Herschel Lieberman Berg-Blattstein. I appreciate it very much. Matty Archiver 5 says, Ghislaine Maxwell is claiming Prince Andrew photo was faked. He determined to keep those cameras on. Would you review It Came From Something Awful by Dale Buran or Gumrub? I don't know if it's good, but it would be interesting to hear your perspective. Depends on how long it is and what it is. If it's like a video, it is a book. Came From Something Awful, how a toxic troll army accidentally memed Donald Trump into office. That sounds like it would be really shitty. I find it hard to read books. I know that sounds retarded, but it's like, even a good book, I have issues staying interested in reading a book. I have like a e-reader, and I've put a bunch of stuff on it that I actually do want to read. But I find it difficult just getting through. It's like ADHD. I don't know, maybe. The last book I tried to read was Julia Savola's Revolt Against the Modern World, I think it was. And I think in that he's talking about how monarchy is the most human form of government, and straying from monarchy has brought about suffering. However, I don't find his points convincing, and he has a statement in there saying, I will provide no supporting evidence of this. Everything that I say is true, and it's up to you to believe me. And he literally does not attempt at, like, that word for word, that's what he says. He makes no attempt at trying to back up what he's saying. So, I didn't finish. It's a very, very long book. It's very dry, and I didn't find it particularly persuasive. You can supply evidence for why monarchy is based. I don't know. Julie Savola couldn't. I've heard I have heard the argument from people that a benevolent dictatorship is the best form of government, but I definitely did not feel that way from reading the Julie Savola book. Polyfrog Pretend says, hey Josh, just want to let you know I apologize to my mother for spurring out about the Fed lady paying me a visit. In the box I kicked is okay. I cleaned up all the ornaments that spilled out. Is this the guy? Is this actually him? Because I've read the name Polyfrog before as a super chatter. I'm wondering now if I made fun of him and he's like a listener. I'm glad you made it okay with your mom. You should probably move out, and you should probably get a lawyer. I mean, she's right. If you want to handle the feds your own way, you should do that from your house. I'm trying to be honest. And good job cleaning up all the ornaments. Hopefully you didn't break anything expensive. Robo Gorilla Man for 545 says, I like big titty goth elf girls. Happy for you, bro. I don't think that elves can be goth, though. Aren't they supposed to be like the most majestic form of like creature? Would a majestic creature be gothic? I don't think so. Anonymous for 2 says, Josh, I didn't mean that we beat evolution. We don't have the same natural pressure shaping our evolution. We have an environment that forces human evolution in weird ways. EX dumbs outbreeding smarts. That's a myth. The people most likely to have abortions are people who are economically disadvantaged in the U.S. But I mean, if dumb people, it's not that dumb people are making like the idiocracy meme where like the dumb family has like 8,000 kids. It's the immigrant family because they haven't imbibed the toxic retard culture that is, you know, the West. They're still, you know, classically Mexican or they're Asian or whatever, and they still have like family pressure to have a family. The dumb people in the U.S. are dying out too. It's not just, you know, the smart people. And Anonymous for 5 says, impressive, very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's Jack Scalfani clip. Sure, everyone has their favorite Jack Scalfani clip. Makes me shake with rage when I see the popping out weapon. I know I could have played that one instead. Anonymous for 2 says, to add to Drexel's thing, Nick's audience encourages Drake to tell him BBC stories and claim they are conservative. These are progressive couples in the epicenter of Portland that are more... There are progressive couples in the epicenter of Portland that are more homogenous, more segregated, and more white trad than them. Yeah, I've always found the fascination with Drexel to be weird. He started out as like the not your shield guy, where it's just like, I'm not racist. I was black facing as my black friend. Here's my black friend. And then he just kind of does this thing where he talks about women or whatever. And of course, his experience with women is shaped by the fact that he only wants white women. And his experience with women are therefore white women that would have sex with a black guy. So his entire worldview and perspective on women and dating strategies involves like the scummiest fucking people and fucking around with the absolute bottom trash tier women. And then he passes this off as if it's like objective wisdom, and it's like, no, you are attractive to a specific type of mentally ill person, and to act like you've found the secrets to, you know, dating success is ridiculous. You haven't. You just know how to scoop up the fucking trash. Good for you, bro. Colia Dante for 10 says, something awful was the driving force between the 2016 fascist takeover of the White House. Site owner Richard Lotex Kanka could not live with the guilt. That's a good alternative strategy.